Welcome to Clemens, North Carolina for our Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Friday Night Rivals Game of the Week presented by West Shore Home. It's championship week across the state, and here in the 4A CPC, it's the East Forsyth Eagles taking on their nearby rivals, the West Forsyth Titans. We have a championship on the line on My-48. Welcome to Jerry Peoples Stadium with the former Catawba offensive lineman Mark Covert. I'm Evan Budrovich. Championship aspirations for these two programs. How does West or East pull out the title tonight?
Well, who's going to be the aggressor? I think early on we're going to find out which team is ready to go here in week 11 of the high school football season, the last week of the regular season. Playoff seeding implications, home field advantage for these teams are on the line. So who's going to be the team that shows they won it more early on? I think that's going to give us a good indicator of who's going to come away with the victory here on rivalry night.
This inter-city rivalry also connects the two coaching staffs, and for more, Hannah Brady introduces to those two coaches.
Guys, for many, tonight's rivalry is historic, but for West Forsyth's head football coach, Kevin Wallace, it's just the first of many. After a longtime Titans football coach retired at the end of last season, Kevin Wallace took the reins of this football program. After spending the last 6 seasons leading the Vikings at Northwest Guilford, he said the biggest challenge in his first year at West was getting both the culture and the work ethic to where he wanted it to be. He told us yesterday that this game has been 10 months in the making since arriving at West in January. He said that he's just been preparing the guys for this moment, and they've been working so hard for tonight. Now, after this rivalry game's been at the Nest the past 2 times, it's back here at West on their own turf. It's senior night, and a conference championship is on the line. Should be an exciting one here tonight, guys.
Number 2, Jalen Brown.
Thanks, Hannah. This West Forsyth club, they want their first league title in 4 years, facing one of the best programs in the state, which means we have 2 heavy hitters gearing up for opening kickoff. When we come back, lineups and more here in Clemens as West versus East, the Compass Bowl to win the CPC here in North Carolina.
For your call. Tonight's game is being broadcasted live on My-48.
Beautiful night. Let's take a look at tonight's weather forecast from our chief meteorologist, Jonathan Wendt. Warmer temperatures for the end of October, and it gears up for a perfect night of football.
Absolutely. A little warmer than I think a lot of people are expecting. Last weekend of October is set to be a little more toasty one, but we couldn't ask for a better atmosphere here tonight in Clemens for one of the biggest football games, not just here in the area, but across the state. Major implications throughout postseason play are going to be determined here tonight.
Let's dive into those keys to this ballgame, Mark. First of all, stay in the course if you're East Forsyth. They've dominated this matchup as of late. And then for West Forsyth, how do they be aggressive tonight?
Well, it's about dominating up front. Realistically, both those things, so far as playing turnover football and then being the aggressor, just playing it safe when you need to, but also asserting your dominance early on. Team that loves to run the football, West Forsyth, they have a chance to get ahead here early on and set a tone here at home.
East Forsyth brings in one of the best quarterbacks in the state. 4-star recruit of Carolina with Coach Mack Brown. He's a junior right now, Bryce Baker, but what an electric playmaker.
Yeah, I mean, he's as good as they come across the board. One of those guys that really has developed as the season has gone on and somehow gotten better. 4-star recruit, making his presence felt the whole way across the season. He's going to have one last opportunity here tonight to make his claim to fame against his heated rival.
It's senior night here at West Forsyth, and Cayman Chaplin, one of 22 seniors. What a special running back.
Just can't talk Titans football without talking about Cayman Chaplin. He is the engine that makes this offense go, a true workhorse. So often you see across the board now, throughout all levels of football, there's split carries, with duties in the backfield being split up between multiple guys. Chaplin's the guy here in Clemens.
Reigning champions, East Forsyth, coming to town. The winner of this game tonight wins the Central Piedmont Conference. And the Hayes Jewelers kickoff gets us underway. This is returnable for West. And getting out to the 15-yard line. The first kick, good coverage out there on the Brian Watt return. So for West Forsyth, we noted the running game of Cayman Chaplin. 3,300 career yards for this tailback. But it is Burt Rice who operates the show. He threw for 300, and the team ran for 300 yards last week. Yeah,
he's got to be really good here tonight. This is going to be one of those games where each team might have to do something out of their comfort zone. Burt Rice is going to have to make some plays through the air.
First down to Chaplin, who trucks a defender, the linebacker, coming in. That was Antoine Mitchell, and gets 5 yards.
That's going to be their bread and butter tonight. When you're looking at this offense, they want to run first, pass later.
Here's the Cook Reynolds starting lineups for West. Trey Caldwell, an elite receiver, stepping up here for West Forsyth. And then P.J. Dean, a 4-star offensive lineman. He's super talented.
He sure is. He's got the size, the physicality up front. Big boom when you've got a guy like Chaplin running behind you.
Back to Chaplin. Able to get off a block, and here goes Chaplin. On his senior night, Chaplin escapes. What a start with a touchdown. 79 yards for a bang-hard opening start.
And what a start. The patience by Chaplin. Follows his blocks. Doesn't overplay the football a little bit. Leaks out to the left side. Finds where his blockers are set up and then bursts upfield. And from there, it's a foot race. And more often than not, 9 times out of 10, Chaplin is winning.
The sermon has begun here at West Forsyth. 28 touchdowns for Chaplin. He is moving and grooving. We figured it'd be a running game tonight for West. That's an ideal start in the first 40 seconds.
You can't get any better than that. Chaplin out the gate. Great blocking up front, picking up all the blitzers from that East defense. And once you get Chaplin in the open field, it's a tall task for any defense going forward.
Kevin Wallace, the first-year head coach, and what did he note with Hannah in the pregame? We have to be aggressive early, run the football. What a start, 3 plays and an 80-yard touchdown drive.
Be the aggressor, set the tone here early on. You're at home. The last 2 times these teams have played, it's been on the road at East Forsyth. So now you get to come back home against your heated rival with a chance to go ahead with a conference championship. It was going to be who's going to come out first, who's going to throw that first haymaker, not punch, but haymaker. And right now, it's West Forsyth.
Mark, in that playoff game, it was a 45-0 beatdown.
Yeah.
East Forsyth, number 2 seed in the state. They were really good, made it to the final 8. And West Forsyth, a last team into the playoff situation, little different dynamic with these two this year.
It's a completely different dynamic. And you got to think, for all the returning players we've seen in this matchup from years past, this is one of those games where you circle it. You know, if you get to the end of the season, you got a chance. That's going to sit in the back of your mind what happened last fall.
Here's a low squib kick that's fumbled. Wow, West Forsyth recovers it. Incredible. Davier Eldridge. The Eldridge family keeps it going. And that's Brody White, who does get dinged up, but he comes up with a football.
You can ask for a better start. Are you kidding me? The squib kick bouncing off of one of the blockers on the kickoff return team for East Forsyth. goes straight back, and it's a hand-wrapped gift. This Titans special teams unit recovers and gets the ball right back to their offense.
An offense that wasted no time marching down the field a second ago. Wow, momentum playing a huge factor for the West Forsyth special teams.
Just turn around, had his eyes on it. It's not like he didn't turn around to find the football. He had his eyes on it, just could not get there.
That hit Jeremiah Dixon, and it bounced away from him.
Yep.
Wow, can West take advantage here?
You cannot ask for a better start if you're the Titans. Now you got to go ahead, continue to pick that momentum up and drive it more towards your sideline on this second drive.
We noted last week, Burt Rice a career high in passing, but this offense also ran for 300 yards in the dominant win over R.J. Reynolds. Here's Chaplin again, breaks off a tackle. Oh my goodness, Chaplin's moving inside the 40. The pile is pushed into the 30. Good luck stopping this man. 18 yards on first down.
I'm telling you, it is aggressive right now up front. This offensive line and Cayman Chaplin won this game early on. See right here, the drive, good vision, good cut, the balance. I mean, everything you want out of a running back was on display on this play. And then the offensive line getting behind and continuing to push for an extra couple yards.
This offensive line, there's 3 seniors, but this group is one of the best in the state. As Chaplin slowly follows the line, and look at that movement. Mark, you played offensive line at the college level. How dominant is his O-line been tonight?
They're moving the pile right now, and they're moving the line of scrimmage. That's what you always want to hear. When you're up front, you're moving those guys backwards and able to make plays. Chaplin is not getting hit until he's well beyond the line of scrimmage.
Alongside Mark Covert, who played at Catawba in his tenure. Chaplin lost his helmet, so he has to exit for one play. Kevin Wallace, who calls this offense as the first-year head coach, he's run some prolific programs, including Northwest Guilford last year, 10 wins.
If you're a West Forsyth fan, how do you not love what you're seeing here early on? I mean, this is as dominant a start as you possibly could have imagined right now for the Titans.
The new running back is TJ Fergus on second down. Fergus gets the rock, and he's just short of the first down. We do have a whistle and a flag here after the tackle from Nathan Stewart. Our first chance. Go ahead, Mark.
I say Fergus, no slouch in his own right either. We can talk about Chaplin as much as we want.
Here comes Gary Overton. That'll back up West Forsyth 10 yards.
We can talk about Chaplin, but Fergus is a guy who comes on, spells him very, very well in the running game. Has over 400 yards this year as well as 6 touchdowns. So another running back that can really tote the rock when asked to do so in his limited duties.
Kevin Wallace noted he's an air raid coach by nature, but this run game has really stepped up when his team needs it. West Forsyth averages 260 yards on the ground per night. Second and long after the penalty. Fergus back to it, and he's going nowhere. That's Kimor Pouncey, the junior D lineman, on the stop.
You got to know that East Forsyth is going to bring that pressure around the line of scrimmage. It's a running offense, as we've already noted. Got to get that pressure and get into the backfield to stop those runners.
Todd Willard, who also runs this defense with Aaron Beal. There's the Cook Reynolds starting defense. Keep an eye on MJ Mullins, the captain at D-tackle.
Big physical presence in the middle of that defense, able to hold up blockers at the point of attack. Perfect for this kind of situation against a running offense.
Derek Bryant, actually the D coordinator this year, his first season running the show. Former head coach at Parkland, right in this conference in the CPC. Third and long for Burt Rice. He steps up. Rice is hit and incomplete. Nice route for Hayden McGaha. He couldn't bring it in, and a fourth down coming.
A good presence by Burt Rice. Steps up in the pocket and delivers a strong throw down the field as he's getting hit. Almost delivers a strike just a little too far to the inside for his receiver to come back in and get a good pressure by East Forsyth up front as well.
Is this a fourth down, go for it range here, Mark? Or are you punting if you're West?
Well, they're going for it right now. Just trying to get a look at what the defense is doing.
After the fumble, Rice will punt, and that is not very far. Wow, that's nearly back to the line of scrimmage. So it nets 9 yards on the punt. And we'll take the timeout. East Forsyth's defense keeps him in it. We'll come back with the next drive for the Eagles when we return.
West Forsyth would like to thank its banners and scoreboard sponsors. A Legacy Federal Credit Union, Blue Moon Benefits Group, Blue Wolf Dental, Brad Romine, State Farm Insurance, Breakfast Time, Clean Air Environmental, Clemens Family Law, Clemens Base Buildings Apartments, CP3 Basketball Academy, PS Brandon Plumbing.
Here's tonight's Cook Reynolds starting lineup for East Forsyth. We noted Bryce Baker, dynamic quarterback, but this receiving tandem, J.P. Gilchrist, Josh Alston, the senior, and Lawrence Riggs, dynamic on the outside.
They sure are. As good as they come in the wide receiver core across the state. Three very versatile players for Bryce Baker to throw to.
This is the first play of the game for East, and we have a whistle. False start will back him up 5 yards.
False start against the Eagles. 5-yard penalty, 1st and 15.
Todd Willard in year 21 as the head coach, 30 years coaching high school football.
Does it as good as anyone across the state, doesn't he? He's one of those real guys. You talk to him throughout the week, and he's going to be brutally honest with you about what he's thinking, how his team's performing, and what he expects out of them. It's a big game. He knows it.
Baker feeds himself, looks to get outside. Oh, jukes it back in and hit hard by the D lineman Torian Johnson. Now Bryce Baker, he's a dual threat and makes things happen with his feet.
Sure can, and he's going to be wanting to throw the football. When he drops back to pass, he will keep his eyes down the field and try to find those receivers there. But he's certainly not afraid to pull the football down and run.
Baker on second down, another whistle. And another false start. Communication a factor here.
Oh, communication, and there's obviously a little bit of anxiousness across that offensive front right now. Now you find yourself down 7-0. The home team has come out here and fired off punches and a couple body blows early on, so you want to answer back. You just got to make sure that you're staying within yourself and playing within the game.
This offensive line is anchored by Austin Federspiel. He's a pitcher on the baseball team, thinking of the World Series this week. Starting left tackle for East Forsyth and starting pitcher on the mound. Second and long after the penalty. Baker with time. Has a man. Nice catch. Gilchrist. And he's got the first down out to the 46. Good pitch and catch at 20.
Really nice play design, too. Gilchrist was wide open on the far side of the field. Baker, easy pitch and catch that time along that East Forsyth sideline to pick up the fresh set of downs.
East Forsyth loves to work quickly after this Crescent Ford first down. Here's the tailback, Brandon Sutton, off a tackle. Sutton gets a block, and he has the first down. Finally pushed out at the 32, and Brandon Sutton, who transferred from Glenn High School in this same conference, has made an impact.
Sure did. That play, nice little, again, play design right now has been really good these last two plays for East Forsyth. A couple of pulling offensive linemen going from right to left. Sutton follows him, makes a couple of moves, and gets another first down.
Here's the toss, receiver in motion, Murray. And with a flag down, Murray gets 8 yards, but we'll see with the flag.
Looks like it was in the area of holding.
Holding against the Eagles.
Tough on those sweep plays. You're out in space like that. You got to make sure your hand placement is good as a blocker. Just sometimes might get a little bit too far outside.
Gary Overton with the call. Todd Willard noted this week, he wants every player to touch the rock, which means if you're West Forsyth in this Cook Reynolds defense, tough challenge for Will Billingsley in this D quarter.
It sure is. You got to watch where that football is going. A lot of smoke and mirrors, a lot of fakes within this East Forsyth offense that are going to throw the defense off balance.
The safety, Davier Eldridge, known as D-Rock, he is the emotional leader out there. The junior safety. His brother on the D-line, Daviel Eldridge. As Baker is pressured, look at this speed go. Baker will slide short of the sticks and pushed down by Davion Eldridge, all related. One of 10 Eldridge siblings that have played for this program.
Family lineage right here in Clemens. Watch Baker here. The presence of mind, sees no one on the backside of the play, pulls it down, makes another play with his feet.
Sets up second and short for Baker. Now Sutton, good block. And Sutton stays on his feet for a Crescent Ford first down. What have you liked about the East Forsyth running game tonight?
There's been a lot of consistency so far and good tempo. Right now on this drive, they are controlling the game tempo-wise and is allowing them to get into their sets and still find a rhythm within what they're doing.
East Forsyth runs the ball for 150 yards a game. Good balance to an explosive passing game. Back to the tailback now, Jeremiah McRae. Look at McRae break loose. He is just short.
Number 25, Jeremiah.
His O-line wants a touchdown, and McRae down inside the 1.
Well, he's awful close, wasn't he? Just gets down inside the good balance and then almost gets there. It may have just been a hair shy.
1st and goal. McRae's turn. He is short as he enters the 5-Star Roofing red zone. We do this every single day. And now an offensive lineman is down. That's Xavier Crawford for East Forsyth.
Will Davis made an excellent play, slashing through that offensive line along the goal line. Just could not get there in time.
So we'll check on the O-lineman here. Xavier Crawford, 2-year starter. Looks like Crawford's trying to get up.
Well, what an answer for these Eagles of East Forsyth, going straight down the field.
That's good to see Crawford get back on his feet. He's a junior right guard. And there's Todd Willard, who has put the offense in the hands of Ron Horton, former head coach at Parkland. They've worked well together. Ron's called plays for almost a decade now at East. He's very integral in this offense.
Well, you got to think with 2 offensive minds like that on the same team, sometimes you think, well, are they going to clash a little bit with their different styles? No, it's been a match made in heaven. This offense has been clicking for the vast majority of the season, and tonight they're off to a good start.
Here's the extra point for Ridge Wisnet, and knocks it through. That last play was a touchdown, so we are tied up at 7. Good start, West versus East. Each team with a touchdown here in Clements.
We've had a set of keys turned in to the press box. If you've lost your keys, please come up and identify them. CPC update, Glenn 7, Davie County 7. Raven 21, Reynolds 6.
Welcome back to West Forsyth High School. Closed captioning for tonight's game is brought to you by Caring Hands. So at Caring Hands Home Health, we understand that the happiness of your loved ones is important to their wellness. That would also be the case for the West Forsyth student section that just watched East march down the field, 9 plays, 75 yards, and all of a sudden we're right back even.
Kind of was the thought this week was, what kind of game are we going to get? Of course, you think about that every single week, but this one especially with the stakes, what they are, a conference championship, multiple home playoff games on the line. And right now, these 2 teams have traded blows.
There's the kickoff that goes all the way into the end zone. Excellent lay. And now, West Forsyth, that just had to punt a moment ago, goes right back to work with Burt Rice. One of the notes with Kevin Wallace this week, he wants to see Rice throw. They expected a big run defense, and he hasn't had to do much of that so far tonight.
No, he hasn't so far. That's because obviously you have a 2-play drive to start the game, then you get the football back, and you miss a throw just out of the reach of one of your receivers down the field in Caldwell. But Burt Rice is much improved from what we saw the last 2 years. He can really sling the football.
Here's Cayman Chaplin, able to break through a tackle, and Chaplin is so tough to stop. He's 6th in the state in total rushing yards, 1,700 yards. He just churned out 10 pretty easily.
And when you look at the frame, you may not think that that's going to be the player you're getting, but Cayman Chaplin, hard worker, and just does the fundamentals of the running back position well. Keeps the feet moving, plays downhill, runs behind his shoulder pads. Everything you want out of a bell cow running back. Cayman Chaplin provides that and more.
Chaplin has offers from Wingate and Navy, among others. He'll be playing college football somewhere. Back to the star tailback. Breaks off a tackle. Oh, it's a race to the sideline. And good. Elijah Edwards does not horse collar, but he does save a touchdown as well.
By the way, he's got speed around the edge too, so it's not just power. He's got a little bit of everything to his game at the running back position. So Chaplin right here, the stiff arm to get off one blocker, and from there turns the corner, gets the shoulder pads upfield. Another strong run for this West Forsyth offense.
Kevin Wallace noted he loves north-south running. Here's a play-action pass. Uh-oh, deep shot! Knocked away. Good coverage. Corey Fisher, 1v1, battling Hunter Cruz.
Well, physical down there at the point of attack. These officials letting these receivers and defensive backs play here early on. You see tight coverage to the outside. Really nice ball. It was exactly where it needed to be from Burt Rice. Just a tough contested catch, trying to make that play for Cruz down the field.
Cruz was pulled up from the JV team just a month ago. He's been electric in these moments. Second down, Chaplin. Wow, he gets 5 yards without being touched. This offensive line is clearing space behind Morris and Foster on the right side.
Did you see how big the hole was on the right side of that offensive line? Just open it up to the backside, exactly where Chaplin was supposed to go to. He's able to stay on his track, doesn't have to deviate from it at all. And that's what you want as a running back. You see that wide open lane, you can just burst and you don't have to hesitate. 3rd and 5. West Forsyth coming off its best offensive game of the year. 54 points, balanced as well. Now on 3rd down, Chaplin on the counter. Oh, he gets his block, lowers the shoulder for the 1st down as he knocked Kadarius Payne there after a gain of 6. Another great hole on the offensive line. That's what they're going to have to do all night long. It can't just be Chaplin. As great as he is, it's going to have to be about those 5 guys up front, and they're opening up those lanes, allowing him to get yards before contact, and then he's finishing those runs with physicality.
That's a Crescent Ford 1st down. Crescent Ford, a High Point, serving the triad. One of the best running teams in the state, one of the best passing teams in the state, battling it out in this 1st quarter. Rice on 1st down. Oh my God! That's a nice catch. And just able to spin forward is the tight end, Josh Colvin, the sophomore, with a gain of 8.
Nice, easy, solid play here. Rice has good pocket presence. You see right there, delivers, and it's a little high, but still catchable. Receiver comes down with it, makes that play.
Burt Rice, only a 57% passer. That's been an area of growth for this offense.
It sure has, but he's been better here in recent weeks. Of course, we talked about the career passing game last week. So he's got that going for him coming into this big matchup.
Now we have a whistle, and both teams are claiming the other committed the penalty. East claiming that West moved, West claiming that East moved, North claiming that South moved.
That's a different conversation. Different era and time, sir.
Personal foul on the defense. So a 1st down here for West. And here's Kevin Wallace in year 1. Had a great tenure at Northwest Guilford running an air raid offense, scored 35 points a game, has come here to West and revitalized his team towards a league title.
He sure has. And of course, you follow in the steps of a legend like Adrian Snow. You got to have that kind of that moxie to you, and Kevin Wallace has it in spades.
We have a reverse. Oh, here's speed for Page. Page gets a block. Touchdown for West Forsyth. Darrell Page with his 5th score of the year on a bang-hard touchdown.
How about that play call? Get you going one way. Defense overcommits. There's no one on contain on the backside. And what a play for Page. Just wide open real estate, about 3 offensive linemen and only 1 defender in front of them. That is a mismatch, that is a touchdown, and that is a lead taken back by West Forsyth.
We have a whistle here and offside before the kick. That's a Bang Hard Apparel touchdown. Go hard with Bang Hard Apparel, offering athletic apparel to help you stay motivated with the right fit. Well, in that case, I'll take Lululemon shorts, and then you'll take some Nike tops and Adidas, and we'll mix it all together. After a 7-play, 80-yard drive.
I'll let you keep the Adidas.
Half the distance.
Okay, all of a sudden here, you move the distance in half.
Yep.
And West Forsyth can play the numbers game here.
Yep, changes the decision. It's that much less yardage to go. Take a chance here. You're not going to win this game by playing conservative. Can't play not to lose, you have to play to win.
Now a whistle and a, is that a timeout or a sideline warning? No, it's just Gary Overton blowing his whistle. We're good to go. There's a lot on the line tonight.
Yeah, there is.
There's a league title here in the Central Piedmont. East, the reigning league champs. Glenn from a year prior. It's been 4 years since West has won the title.
It's always so much fun this last week. See how everything shakes out across the state.
Caleb David comes in running back, and he easily gets in. That's a middle linebacker barreling in for 2. Good luck stopping that kid in the red zone.
Yeah, no kidding. One of their best defenders gets the rock, and there's not going to be any stopping him from that close out. Smart play call personnel-wise. Get inside after the penalty. Easy decision. Easy play call, easy result.
And look at the creativity here of Kevin Wallace on this design.
Oh, not just that, but you're talking about the reverse that got them into the end zone to begin with. Page just comes around. Again, there's one guy for East Forsyth, one defender on the backside. There's 2 or 3 offensive linemen.
And that one defender for East wanted nothing to do with that play.
Absolutely, and then David finishing it off with the physical run straight up the gut. I've been impressed by West Forsyth. I think a lot of teams, and I'm sure they heard the noise, a lot of people across the state. You start previewing games, you think, East is going to come in here and do what they usually do. West is not letting them go quietly into the night. This is going to be a dogfight.
Mark, these teams met in the playoffs last year, first round. 49-0 East Forsyth. That looks to be in the minds of West tonight.
It's going to sit there. You never forget that last one.
Here's a squib kick that's returnable. Caldwell gets a block. And out to the 40-yard line. Good starting field position here for East. Well, East wasted no time on its last drive. Bryce Baker and a good rushing attack. This is an offense that blew out Glenn last week, 42-12. And Baker threw for 4 touchdowns in the win.
Just looked really, really good. Since we saw them earlier this year against Mount Tabor in a game where they just could not get much going until the late stages of the fourth, winning the game with 5 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Since then, this offense has retaken back off, spread their wings, and done some damage.
And he will raise you up on Eagles' wings. Baker here feeds Sutton behind the wings of a good O-line. Oh, big hole for Baker. And he's into West territory. Gets nearly 20. Brandon Sutton with a nice rush.
Nice easy hole that time, and the suddenness by Sutton in the open field. Watch this cut off the right side, sets the defenders up, and then bursts up field. Nice vision from the running back of East Forsyth, Brandon Sutton.
Another whistle. East is starting to make life a little tougher on themselves. Penalties adding up, that's 5 already.
And here in the last couple years, certainly been in the conversation of where East can improve, and year after year, it's just one of the things that seems to always be a bugaboo for them is penalties. I mean, think about where they go if they aren't committing half the penalties they have. It's a little bit undisciplined trying to get off the ball too early.
Sets up 1st and 15. Here's a toss to Murray. Murray able to zigzag his way for the penalty yardage. He gets 7. And that'll test the East-West defense here of West when the ball goes east and west. That's hard to say.
It's a lot. You're talking about a lot of screens, a lot of motions, a lot of smoke and mirrors, gadget plays. I mean, across the board, they're going to do what they can to try to deceive you and not allow you to locate where the football is.
Play action Baker. Oh, he takes the deep shot. Looking Murray, catches Murray, touchdown. Jalen Murray. He's been everywhere in this first half.
He sure has, and what a pocket, what a throw, what a catch, and what a play for East Forsyth. Good presence in the pocket, great pocket for Bryce Baker to step up, make a beautiful throw down the field on the money. Jalen Murray making that catch and then diving into the end zone. Wow.
That's a Bang Hard Apparel touchdown and a statement on a 58-yard score. Extra point here for Ridge Wisnett. With East electing to go for 1, they make the 1-pointer. And we told you Bryce Baker could sling it, the 4-star quarterback.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, this thing was a dot down the field. Not a lot of hang time, just gets it right to Murray. No way to have him throw it under him. Just on a line down the field, a beautiful throw. Great job by Jalen Murray to finish the play, get into the end zone, and bring us within 1 point.
42-yard dime from Baker to Murray, who's only scored his 2nd touchdown all year. but they've been the last 2 weeks. Impressive.
Well, it's not always about who's going to be the best, but the hottest going into the postseason, right?
Because you see Zakai Mitchell, number 3. He's an elite receiver as well, the senior. He's out the last 3 weeks, so it's been new faces coming in for Todd Willard's offense.
Yeah, it has, but they've all been stepping up, making plays, scoring points.
And I don't think Todd Willard's very pleased with the referee there. That's a coach who's won 2 state titles here at East, including the year his team lost the regular season to West. West won in 19, and then East came back to win the whole state title. It was a unique run. Winner of this game wins the Central Piedmont Conference as Creasmore sends this away. That is returnable from the 1. Good tackle, and the ball's loose! Wait a second, we need a ruling here, and it's ruled down. Oh, if you're East, you could have wondered there, but West gets away with it.
It kind of seemed like the ball came out well after the return man was down. And that's exactly what the ruling is. No instant replay, so at least within the high school ranks the challenge.
That's Brian Wyatt who gets whacked.
Yeah, he's well down.
Elbow down.
Yep.
Yeah.
I say ground can't cause a fumble. Good call by this officiating crew to stay on top of that one.
Big sigh of relief if you're West Forsyth, had all the momentum and almost gave the ball away. And West came into this game, they have not committed a fumble all year. 5 picks, but no fumbles. Chaplin back to it on first down. And Chaplin has nowhere. Look at MJ Mullins body slam him to the ground.
And that's what you need to do. Chaplin's going to try to find those holes. He's going to be patient. But what you can do is sometimes take advantage of that patience and collapse everything down around him. If he has to stop and hesitate and you've got good pursuit from all sides, you can bring this young man down before he does too much damage. See right here, he has to stop and hesitate right there. That's where the Eagles swarm. All around him, make that play.
Mullins is a tank. He's a wrestler in high school. He's physical. Makes an impact at 6'2", 270. Final minute of the first quarter. Back to Chaplin. Chaplin finds his hole, and then Mullins jumps on top of him for a little ride there. 3rd and short coming up.
This is a kid that averages coming into the game 10 yards a carry. Even within the high school ranks, that is absurd. For the amount of yards and the attempts that he's had, it is ridiculous to have 10 yards
in the state in rushing.
Right.
This kid can run the football.
And that's just rushing yards. We're not talking about the average as a whole. I mean, he's got to, if he's not number 1, I'd love to see who is.
Javier Rice of Asheville Christian's number 1.
And that's why we have you here, Evan.
18 yards a carry for Javier Rice.
Unbelievable. But just one of the best in the state. Cayman Chaplin.
3rd and 4. And West will have to burn a timeout. Hannah Brady, you have more on Cayman Chaplin.
Timeout. Tight. Their first charge.
Guys, since Cayman Chaplin was 5 years old, playing Tiny Mike division of Pop Warner football, he knew that football was his future. Over the offseason, Chaplin was dealing with a hamstring injury that sidelined him for the first game of the season. That's certainly not the case tonight. Coach Wallace told us that one of his greatest strengths is his ability to adapt to a variety of situations that have been thrown at him, and he can process things really fast, which makes his vision excellent tackle to tackle. Now it's senior night, and all of his family are here supporting him. I talked to his great aunt, his uncle, his great uncle, and they're all wearing Chaplin Squad t-shirts with the number 3 on the back, guys.
The Chaplin story is great because when I arrived in the park today, Ayana, his mother, welcomed me to the field. That's the assistant principal and part of this Chaplin clan. And it's certainly an impact here at West Forsyth.
Absolutely. You know, your mom is doing good work, and she's one of the leaders along this entire school. And so you have the responsibility of not just being a good son, but a role model for everyone else in the school. By the way, pretty good football player, too.
I'm glad she didn't kick me out of the stadium, too, when I came in. Back to her son, Chaplin. Oh, Cayman staying alive and then wrestled down. That's Robbie Whitney, the D lineman on the stop. And that should end the first quarter.
It's going to be a long couple of minutes here to make a decision as to what's going on.
Now the clock begins. And an entertaining first quarter.
Yep.
29 combined points. Something tells me we'll see a bunch more before halftime. Don't go anywhere here in Clemens. West versus East. Entertaining first 12 minutes for the Central Piedmont Conference title.
cheerleaders, Governor, Cole Smith, Leighton Bennett, China Allen, Sky Rice, Kamora Folk, Zanaya English, Tiana Stoddard, and Quinn Hamlin. And your senior tight knives, Annalise Moody, Ivana Williams, Trinity Picker, Kennedy Hodges, and Sophie Ignacio. A round of applause for your senior cheerleader and tight knives. Davie County 7, Glenn 7 at halftime. Several sets of keys have been turned in at the pass gate. If you've lost your keys, report to the pass gate.
West versus East. This is a barn burner and a rivalry built on respect with these two programs. Now we start the second quarter. West has the football here on 4th and 1, electing to go for it on their side of the field.
You can't blame them with who you have in the backfield.
Here's 4th down. Chaplin has to move and he's short. Elijah Edwards and crew coming on a stop for a jazzed up defense. And he is short.
Not even close.
That'll make D coordinator Derek Bryan a happy camper.
What a stop by that East Forsyth defense, crashing down and making that play. Starts at the line of scrimmage, mucking things up, not allowing Chaplin to get any real running room, and then blowing it up and bringing him down when he's caught off balance. That is an all-around fantastic play by that entire Eagles defense.
I think Vanderlei Baldwin was the first one on the stop. There were a lot of East Forsyth Eagles flying around. So here's East with excellent field position from the 36.
And think about what that stop does even at this point in the game. It's been a back and forth slugfest right now, blow for blow, punch for punch. East has a chance to go back up here.
Baker is a perfect 3 for 3 to start this game. Feeds the tailback. Little move and a spin, just short of the first.
See how effective that fake was from Baker. Takes it right back up the middle. You think he might have it. Nope, it's a handoff again.
That was Lawrence Riggs, the third on the carry.
Nice easy play call.
Uh-oh. Everyone but the center moved. You know that one, Mark.
Will not confirm or deny whether or not I've been in that position before.
Okay, so the Chains didn't have a first down. That was the issue.
Oh, wow.
There's no penalty.
Oh, wow.
Interesting.
That's a bailout.
After a Riddle tractor first down.
That offense got bailed out.
Sutton. He's going nowhere. Good pursuit by Davion Eldridge. He's the big talker of the Eldridge family. 3 Eldridge brothers on this defense.
All of them bring their own different aspects to what they do. Davion, one of those guys, a hard hitter. I mean, you could see it on his helmet.
And his brother, Davidell, known as Turtle, combined on the stop.
See it on his helmet. When you're missing paint, you're physical.
His third brother, Davier, or D-Rock, is a safety on the starting defense. Baker didn't see the ball. It is loose. Oh, it looks like it's still going. Oh, West Forsyth. They have the fumble. Cale Vest. How about that diet to scoop up the rock?
Blow for blow, punch for punch. They're going back and forth right now. A 4th down stop. And then a miscue by East Forsyth. Baker's not looking for that football. There is miscommunication right now between that offensive line and Bryce Baker. Cannot get on the football and then just bouncing back and forth. Way to stay played if you're Vest to get on top of that football and give it back to your offense.
7th turnover of the year for East Forsyth, and it comes at the wrong time.
Saw Baker try to stretch his arm out to pick that football up.
Chaplin turns just short of the first down. He'll gain 8 before the linebacker Kadarius Payne got him.
And just a moment to catch your breath for a second. My goodness, what a sequence we've had.
Both teams with big turnovers in the last minute. Burt Rice feeds Chaplin. He's got the first. And look at Chaplin taking bodies with him near midfield. Elijah Edwards on the stop.
It really is impressive, Evan, when you've got an offense where the opponent knows what you're doing, right? They know you're going to feed it to Cayman Chaplin. They know that he's going to be the one toting the rock on most of these offensive plays, and they're still not able to stop it. I mean, it really is incredible that West is able to make adjustments where they need to and still be effective throughout the entire season.
West Forsyth over 200 yards on the ground tonight as Rice goes play action. Oh, nice pitch and catch. And Hayden McGaha with the first down.
That throw right there is something we did not see out of Burt Rice the last 2 years as starting quarterback of the West Forsyth Titans. Nice, easy read, steps in, makes the throw down the field. Easy pitch and catch for a seasoned veteran at the quarterback spot.
Second completion for Rice tonight. Now Chaplin. He bounces off one, and a good tackle, Elijah Edwards. We do have a flag, though, on the far side of the field.
Flag on the play.
I mean, this has been everything it was built up to be coming into this week.
This is coming back. A holding will back it up 10.
The players, the teams, the coaches, the atmosphere.
And a league title on the line, too. Hosting implications. Winner of this game could host multiple rounds of the playoffs. The loser, they might be right on the edge of hosting in the top 16.
All the rivalries in the area. This is easily one of the biggest. Simply put, East versus West.
Everyone from Kernersville to Clemens knows about this rivalry.
Absolutely, and from the area around them as well. It is always the game to look for in the final week of the season. And it has lived up to every bit of the hype that we heard throughout the week, plus some so far.
Almost as good as Jay Pepper's Burgers, I'm told, in Kernersville. That place is rocking with 2 programs. Rice on a screen. Chaplin gets the penalty yardage back and gets shoved out of bounds, setting up 3rd and medium.
Just a smart play design. When you can't get Chaplin running the football in a down and distance that doesn't make sense, what do? Still get it to him, just in a different way. Finding a way to get the football to your playmakers is how you win these games. Chaplin makes another impact, this time through the air.
Second and 4. And a whistle. Oh, a false start. Looked like one of the wide receivers started moving.
All 2 steps forward, 1 step back.
Quick like a turtle, lie on your back.
And now back to the line of scrimmage. It's not where you want to be.
Kevin Wallace revitalizing this offense coming in. 2,300 yards rushing. Over 160 yards passing per game. Big jump from last year to this year. 2 touchdowns early for Burt Rice, who goes play action. Rice scrambling, throws it towards the coaching staff, and we have a flag right in the area of holding. If you're Burt Rice, you got to be careful on that play.
You sure do, and I understand he's trying to throw it out of bounds, get it back over there. The decision was right, but he turned back to the opposite side of the field.
Holding against the Titans.
That'll keep a 3rd and long, 3rd and 10. Penalties adding up for both teams in this first half. West Forsyth that played East back-to-back weeks.
And there's some dispute right now as to what the down is.
Accepting the penalty? East Forsyth, they want the extra yardage. Let's see if we can get this on the same page. Okay, so the penalty will be accepted.
not declined, there will be a 10-yard penalty.
Now it has been accepted.
Third down. Second down.
Okay.
West will have to get to the 30 to move the chains. Burt Rice, senior quarterback, is blitzed. And good pressure to force the incompletion. That was Robbie Whitney coming like a bullet train.
Tough pressure off the edge that time, and if you're Rice, you've got to complete that pass. A nice, easy throw out into the flat. The play design was there. You got exactly what you wanted, just rushed it a little bit. Starts to float backwards on the throw, and it sails wide of his receiver. Those are gimmies. You've got to have them. Fergus was wide open in the flat.
Whitney's been a big starter at this D tackle, D ed position. 3rd and 20. Rice heaves it way deep, wanting a flag, and won't get it. The coverage there from Corey Fisher.
Way over the head, trying to go down the field. Hunter Cruz, one of those guys that.
And there was some contact with Cruz and Fisher, but
sure,
no flag.
Didn't think it was enough to draw that flag. Again, the officials are letting these receivers and defensive backs go at each other a little bit, be more physical here in the last week of the season. They are letting them play in the defensive backfield as far as getting more physical and getting down the field. But another stop, now 2 in a row for this East Forsyth defense, forcing the ball out of this Titan offense hands.
There is no one back to receive for East, and this is TJ Fergus catching a high snap. Oh, Fergus looking for a fake. Now a rugby kick. And it takes a perfect bounce if you're West Forsyth, pinning it inside the 20. We'll take the timeout. East Forsyth back to work when we come back. Closed captioning for tonight's game is brought to you by Caring Hands. At Caring Hands Home Health, we do our best to make your loved ones feel like they're being taken care of by our family. How about the killer cell phone light show from this West Forsyth home student section, including is that Batman in the house?
Batman.
In the bottom left there? I love it. These are 2 programs that know each other since day 1. It's a blackout, though, from both student sections, which I can appreciate.
This is awkward.
The home and the road team.
This is awkward.
I don't think the memo was sent via email.
Or maybe it's like, hey, whatever you can do, we can do better.
These programs are going back and forth with touchdowns early.
Are.
Bryce Baker and crew back to work after a fumble on the last drive. Baker feeds Murray. Murray's got a nice hole. And enough for the first down. 10-yard rush.
Different look for East Forsyth. 2 backs in the backfield alongside Baker. Again, all those distractions and what they do. Who are they going to be handing it off to? This time Murray, who has the touchdown already in this game.
Now it's Sutton's turn. And nowhere to go on that run, just a gain of 1. We talked about the prolific receivers for East Forsyth, but the commitment to the run's been impressive.
It has, and they wanted to set that tempo early on, something they know they can do. They've got the playmakers to make it happen. You want to find that consistency, find some balance, and it's affected this offense in great ways to start.
Good wheel route, and Murray catches it. Murray looking for a dance, and he's tripped up. That was D-Rock Eldridge with the stop after the Riddle Tractor first down.
Good play recognition by Baker. Easy pitch and catch out to the far side. That's what you want to do. Just make it easy. There doesn't have to be anything super complicated tonight. Get the football to your playmakers. Baker does an excellent job that time. Get it back out to Murray.
First and 10. Quarterback keeper. Oh, Baker's on the move. Able to slide, and he's hit hard. Let's see if a flag comes in. It does not. So Baker gets 14 to move the chains.
It's a little iffy right there. You're getting a little close trying to go for that slide, and you make contact with the offensive player. Baker gets down, and at that point, he's surrendering himself. You cannot go down and hit any player. I'm a little surprised the flag wasn't drawn there.
That was Gabe Akbin on the tackle. Fresh set of downs. Murray just barrels forward. He's tripped up by Turtle Eldridge, who comes out of his shell a ton. He's one of the most talkative D linemen on this staff for Will Billingsley.
Tough physical player, another Eldridge kid, of course, as you mentioned.
One of 10 Eldridge kids.
But they're so hard-nosed, and they bring so many different dimensions to this team.
That's Turtle Eldridge, D lineman, who's in the first period class of the head coach here at West Forsyth. So he sees him every day, bright and early at 8 in the morning. 2nd and 8. Baker slings it out. Good grab by Richburg. And Richburg has the first catch for the sophomore Jair Richburg.
Could you imagine that, by the way? Start your day with Kevin Wallace, end your day with Kevin Wallace, especially on Fridays.
Have the whole Eldridge family in the stands.
Yeah.
The other 7 siblings.
A family affair.
Including one of the younger brothers who's a ball boy for the team. They call him Fat Boy. Just quoting the words. Sutton has a nice hole here. And Sutton turns his head, barrels down, and gets inside the 15. And so he'll gain 16 yards on first down.
Another easy run that time. Hey, right out to the far side. Left side opens up. Good cut to find the hole by Sutton, and then bursting through yet again, and then finishing the run, falling forward, keeping those legs churning, picking up extra yards after contact.
8th play of the drive. Murray will get at least 4. And this is consistent, in-your-face, downhill running. What have you liked about this East Forsyth attack?
The rhythm. I've said that from the first drive they had tonight offensively, the rhythm in which they've been doing it, it's been to a pace, and they are controlling tempo when this offense is on the field.
Into the 5-star roofing red zone. 2nd and 6. McRae in at tailback. Here's a play action lob. End zone. Alston couldn't hang on. Nice coverage by Ferguson. That's Justin Ferguson in coverage.
Want to see that football go up a little higher. You've got a guy like Alston out there, 6'4". Use that frame a little bit more. Get the football up in the air. Allow him to really go make that play, but excellent coverage on the back end. You cannot ask for anything better from Justin Ferguson out on the edge.
Third and 6. Play action. Pressure. Incomplete. And the pressure coming from D-Rock Eldridge, forcing 4th down.
Pressure gets home. Free rushers that time. Great blitz. Good play call. Have a free runner coming down the field. Afforded Baker no time to step into that play. Excellent job getting that coverage and drawing up 4th down.
We had asked Todd Willard the field goal range of Ridge Wisnett. He said 40 to 45 yards. Well, that gets tested here. A 38-yard kick coming up. Sorry, 28-yard kick. Wisnett with 5 minutes to go. This is for the lead in the first half. And that bends wide. Keep note of the 28-yard miss. We'll take the timeout. East Forsyth unable to capitalize. West Forsyth gets the football back next.
Trinity Financial Group, Gibson, Body Work, Jason Jones, Lindsay Gardner CPA, Marzano Cat Group, Mosquito Authority, Motorsports Connection, Livestock, Optimal Health Chiropractic, Stephanie Festival, Hathaway, Triple Marriage Steakhouse, and a special day, game day sponsor, the Ian Body Work. Also a special thanks to AM Erectus for their support of the football program.
Welcome back to West Forsyth High School. Two bitter rivals that play for a league title tonight. And this game is 10 months in the making. Talking to this West Forsyth staff, they remember the 49-0 playoff loss. And if you're East, you're now trying to regain that league title tonight.
How could you forget that sort of, if we're being honest, humiliation in the playoffs against your bitter rival? Obviously, it's stuck with this West Forsyth team throughout the course of the offseason. And they're ready to go here tonight. Cayman Chaplin, first play of the drive. He got some yardage here. And a late tackle will add on 15. That's Elijah Edwards with the late hit. It's not a smart play. You've already got him going out of bounds. You want to be physical, bring him down to the ground, but be smart. Don't give up unnecessary yards in a game like this that's so tight as the first half is coming to an end. We asked Kevin Wallace about that play call sheet. He said it's not as small as Kyle Shanahan, but it's got plenty on it. They love to run quick and operate a good balance of run and pass. Done it really well this year, an offense that has been humming several different stretches throughout the season. And you talk about first-year success in a new location. A lot of ways you can't script a better setup for what this team could do here in the future than what Kevin Wallace has delivered in Clemens in year one at West Forsyth. Cayman Chaplin on the counter is rocked. Welcome to the backfield, Brooklyn James. Not from The Bachelor, but he's making his presence felt in the backfield. Sliced through that offensive line to make that stop. Came with the burst. Off the snap, just gets through there before he can even get touched. Makes that stop on Chaplin in the backfield. Those are the kind of plays you need. If you are East Forsyth, you've got to get back there and get Chaplin to the ground before he gets those legs really churning. Second and long. Another counter. Oh, the blitz gets in there. Good stop by E.J. Hawkins, and this D-line is teeing off. They are. They're getting back there. There's a little bit of a quickness now to what they're doing. They realize if you can't go body to body with this big offensive line of East Forsyth, next thing you do is use your speed to your advantage. Get back there, get past them off the line, and disrupt the plays. Doesn't always mean you need to make the play, but if you are disrupting it, you're giving your defense a chance to get in there and clean up that mess. Those were two slow developing plays, too, and he sniffed it out. And now third and long. You got to think Burt Rice is going to put this football in the air. Rice is 3 of 7 tonight. On 3rd and 13, steps up. Rice nearly throws a pick. Good coverage by Vanderlei Baldwin, setting up 4th down. Could not get it again. That route in the first quarter was missed almost the exact same way by Burt Rice. Could not get it to Magaha, and that is a huge miss at this point in the ball game. And a missed interception to Vanderlei Brown, too. No kidding. That ball's just a little further back, a little closer to Magaha. That's not just a catch, but close to moving the chains for a 1st down. TJ Fergus on to punt. Still no one back for East Forsyth. And now a timeout. So Todd Willard will talk this over. Man, what a game we've had so far. And Hannah Brady, I hear you're the inside reporter here on the sidelines. What's going on, Hannah?
Guys, I'm here with Cynthia Martin, who's the grandmother of the Eldridge family. I also have Mom and Dad here to just talk to me how proud you are of these guys tonight.
Yes, we are super proud of our boys. They have done great things in the classroom and on the field, but just being just great high school boys and not getting in any trouble, no gangs or any of that. Just the love of football has really guided them, and we're super proud of them.
Now, Mom, I know all of them start with the name D, and then the last couple, their middle names start with the name L. What was your decision behind naming all of your children with the letter D?
It was just, the school was a good program. It was a good place for them to be.
The names being G-A-O, David Lee.
I can't hear.
The names being David.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Dad's name is David. Actually, David Lee is the dad's name, so all of them are David Lee something, or Davion, Davier. But it was just, we just kept it together.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining me and spending a few moments of your time at the game, guys.
Now, that's a great family picture.
No kidding.
All of the Eldridges, as this punt is actually pinned perfectly inside the 5.
Picture perfect.
There's the Christmas picture. Good stop by TJ Fergus. There's the Eldridge family.
Man, oh man.
1 through 10, with 3 of them playing high school football together. That is incredible.
Yeah, all athletes across the board. This is a obviously big family, but a special one at that. One that's going to carry a lineage throughout the East Forsyth lore.
And there's
West Forsyth.
There's D-Rock, who's the most mature of all the siblings. He's not the oldest, but he's definitely the smartest in the eyes of the coaching staff.
And one of those guys, a vocal leader on defense. He is an enforcer back there in the secondary. Just a guy who makes a lot of plays, super dependable, and that's what you need back there from that safety spot. Even as a junior, he's one of those guys that's called upon to make plays when they need him the most.
1st and 10. Good hole here for Sutton, who gets most of that yardage back on 1st down. Stay tuned for the My 48 halftime report. We'll have this week's Scholar Athletes, interviews with the principals, highlights, and more coming up at halftime of a league title bout, West versus East, here in the Central Piedmont Conference. Baker on the toss. He finds Sutton, who cuts it back. He's got the first. Sutton is spun down. Needed one more block and couldn't get away from Justin Ferguson.
That's a really nice play in the open field by Ferguson. Sutton breaks that play open. Big hole in the middle of the field. Smart vision. Cuts it back and makes that play, does Ferguson.
And Alston didn't want that block in the back.
Right.
But if he gets the block, it's a touchdown.
Even if it's just a chip right there. But you're trying to be smart. I understand it. Still a good play.
Here's Sutton. Follows his pulling guard, who keeps churning his legs. And that was Mark Berkeley, the left tackle, leading the way on the Sutton run.
Well, Sutton got pulled out of there, and he did not have the football. And he literally got picked up off the ground, and he did not have the football. And maybe the whistle had been blown at that point. Man, oh man.
East has had 2 turnovers tonight, and costly turnovers.
Yes, they have.
They can't afford a 3rd.
And think about how well the offense has operated when they haven't been making those mistakes.
This is Murray, who couldn't catch it. That's a forward pass. That misdirection, though, is unique with Baker. He really keeps the defense honest.
He sure does. And there's so many different things this East offense can do, whether it's screen passes out to the flat, bubbles, run pass options, known as RPOs, just running, passing. I mean, everything you want to do as an offense is very multifaceted and can hit you from so many different ways.
3rd down. East Forsyth has punted the last 3 drives. This is an important moment. They will get the football to start the 2nd half.
I expect the ball to stay in your quarterback's hands here. Bryce Baker making plays.
3rd and 8. Baker runs it. Nice block by Alston. And Baker's got the first. He gets to the 45 and gains 18. And we have a flag in there late, too. Is that a face mask?
Le'Mia got him on the face mask early or late at the back end of the play. But Baker here, great play call, sets up the quarterback draw in the middle.
Oh, there it is.
And gets tacked on with an extra couple yards in the back end as well with the face mask.
That's D-Rock committing the face mask. D-Rock Eldridge.
It's a gutsy play there. 3rd and long, you got to have it at this point in the ball game to continue the drive. And you put it in the hands not just of your quarterback to make a throw, but he makes that run. Perfect play call. The defense opened up in the middle of the field. And now the extra yards puts them in plus territory, no less. So within about a minute, they have gotten to where they want to go. Now they just need to finish this drive off, take the lead before halftime.
Bryce Baker changing the play before the snap. Fresh set of downs. Murray, good speed, better juke. Murray sideline races, just short. Pushed out at the 5.
Do you feel the whiff from up here off of that juke, partner? I mean, look at this. Sets it up, cuts right back, makes one Titan miss. And then from there, it's the speed to the corner.
Entering the 5-star roofing red zone, doing this every single day with Murray. Already has a touchdown tonight on a reception. First and goal. Baker. Oh, no one helped Baker out. And he goes down. Courtney DuBois with the sack.
Nice vision by DuBois. See him come off the edge here, goes straight to Baker. Not fooled by any sort of misdirection handoff there. Goes straight to the quarterback and makes a huge stop.
So a timeout here from East as well. Now you have some decisions here. 2nd and 12. That was an injury to Josh Alston.
But it really makes you rethink your decision making down here inside the, well, what was inside the 10, but here in your goal to go situation, you go from inside the 5, now back outside the 10. You got to start thinking, are we going to put this football in the air here on these next 2 downs? It could really become 4-down territory as well, given what we saw out of the last possession with the field goal attempt.
Mark, stay tuned for the My 48 halftime report. We'll have Bojangles athletes, interviews with the principals, highlights, maybe some pretzels, maybe some fair food, putting it out there for the world to know, maybe not, and maybe more at our My 48 halftime report.
I'll take more fair food. There's some left over.
The smell of popcorn was arousing as I was walking up the bleachers.
Man.
We also ran into former coach here, Adrian Snow, pregame on our walk up the stairs.
Made sure to greet us on our way up.
Big drive for East Forsyth. 3 straight punts and a missed field goal have started the 2nd quarter. Baker on 2nd and goal. Feeds Sutton. And he'll get half the yardage back with Eldridge Davion on the stop. And the clock continues to run here on 3rd down.
An interesting down and distance here for East Forsyth. Close enough to run, but still far enough away where if you want to put that football in the air, you can. So it does present some different obstacles for this West Forsyth defense to try to defend.
3rd and goal. The UNC commit, junior Bryce Baker. Important 3rd down. Final minute of this first half. Baker, end zone, knocked away. Justin Ferguson wins it against Richburg.
Ferguson's been a wizard out there on the perimeter here in the first half. That is 2 different situations where you throw that fade ball against the junior defensive back, and he has guarded them to perfection. The 6', 160-pound junior going up, plays the football, sees where the hands are, and gets in between there to knock that one away.
Justin Ferguson having a breakout night. A couple of big pass breakups.
He has been big when they needed him to here down in the red zone.
Wisnet from 23. He missed from 28 earlier tonight, and he makes it from 23. So East gets back in front. That was an important drive for East Forsyth after a tough 2nd quarter.
Yeah, it really was. And all the miscues you have in the 2nd quarter, still now up by 2. With the first half winding down. And what does West Forsyth do? It's not an offense built to kind of put drives away here at the end of a half with a lot of speed and a lot of time, but they're certainly going to give Burt Rice a chance here with those 2 timeouts remaining.
The winner of this game not only claims the CPC, the Central Piedmont, they get a home playoff game for the first 2 weeks.
Right.
This is an important regular season finale.
Potentially 3, depending on how other things shake out throughout this side of the state. Of course, you have your East and West brackets in the North Carolina playoffs.
You look at the 4A top teams right now. Grimsley and Greensboro, number 2 overall. And right now, East and West are both in the top 16. That's the hosting teams.
Yep.
So the higher you win, the higher number 1, the better chance you have to host the rest of the way. Currently, Providence Day, Charlotte, is the number 1 team in the state, but they're not in 4A football, just overall. Grimsley, the top 4A team, as Creasmore sends this into the end zone and a touchback. It's so fascinating. Right now in the 4A rankings, West is 10th, East is 11th. And you want to get in the top 8 to host the first 3 rounds. So the winner of this game will most likely do that.
Yeah, and realistically, both teams are going to host a playoff game next week. The only question is who's going to have multiple. And that's where it kind of comes down to as far as how things shake out. And again, even going into next week, depending on what happens in the first round of the playoffs, it could be multiple. But as the seeding stands, we only have one.
Burt Rice out of the pocket. He's got a cannon, fires, incomplete. Good option there to Hunter Cruz, who had his windows down, ready to fly down I-95.
He was like a cruise missile on his way down the field. And Rice just couldn't get it. We've seen a couple times, they're trying to get it to Cruz going down the field. He's been open on these opportunities, and that is one that Burt Rice has to hit because he is off and running. He catches that football. We were talking about a house call.
Cruz was miles away from the linebacker in coverage.
That is a tough miss on a gimme ball that you have to have.
Second down. Here's Chaplin. Not much coming there. Good stop by Nathan Stewart and a timeout here. Or wait, no whistle just yet. Clock runs.
Third down and 7.
It's third down. I'm actually a little surprised that East isn't calling any timeouts here. I mean, you have a chance to get that football back. You never know what happens on a punt return either, depending on where your field position is.
No urgency to snap this football. Interesting. Final seconds of the half.
A little surprised. Todd Willard coach team not being as aggressive as they have been.
Final play of the half. Rice throws it short. Page, and that'll end it. Does get the first down, but that's it. So through the first 24 minutes, it's that final drive of East Forsyth to make the difference here in the first down.
Blow for blow, man. It has been an epic game here in the first half. One of the ones that you expected to see out of these two rivals, regardless of record, but it means so much more given the stakes here tonight at Conference Championship. Those playoff games on the line at their home turf. I mean, it has been everything you could possibly want it to be here in half number one. Stars have come out to play. Big plays have been made. And we are excited to see what happens in half number two. That is for sure.
East has won 4 straight in this series, and West, they know they're right in it at halftime. We'll go down to Hannah Brady with Todd Willard.
Coach, a couple of false starts, some fumbles. How do you clean those things up come the second half?
Well, I'm just happy we're even in the game with all those mistakes we've just had. I mean, that was just awful. My coaches will hear from me at halftime, no doubt.
As you move into the second half, you know that stopping the run game of Cayman Chaplin is going to be what you need to do in order to win this football game. How are you hoping to do that come the second half?
Well, I mean, we've done a pretty good job of slowing them down. We just got to stop having penalties. It's just unexcusable. It's unforced errors, and we got to become more disciplined, and we got to make some more plays on offense like we did early in the first quarter.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
Thanks a lot.
We have a whole lot more in store for you as the My 48 halftime report is coming up next right here on My 48. Stay with us.
Round of applause for your Titans.
Throughout the 2023 Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Friday Night Rivals season, Bojangles will recognize an exceptional senior student athlete from each participating school with a plaque presentation prior to each game. This week's Bojangles Scholar athletes are from West Forsyth High School, Cameron Chaplin. West Forsyth's Cameron Chaplin plays varsity football and track and field. He was named 2022-23 CPC 4A All-Conference, 2022-23 First Team All-Area, and broke the program's single-game rushing record, going for 365 yards at Week 9. Cameron is on the National Honor Society, a Crosby Scholar, and a member of the Key Club and Black Achievers Club. Cameron gives back to his community by volunteering at Bethesda Center and volunteering for community events at Jerry Long YMCA. And from East Forsyth High School, Ridge Wisnat. East Forsyth's Ridge Wisnat is a 4-year varsity football letterman and a 5-time Special Teams Player of the Week. He was Junior Marshal in 2022 and has been in the top 10 of his class for all 4 years. Ridge was awarded the Rotary Club of Kernersville Top 10 Scholastic Award and a 2-time recipient of the East Forsyth Top 20 Academic Achievement Award. Outside of the classroom and football field, Ridge is an MMA 3rd-degree black belt. Cameron, Ridge, and other nominated students are also eligible to win a $5,000 scholarship to be presented at the end of the season, courtesy of Bojangles. Bojangles proudly gives back to our community and is honored to be the sponsor of the Friday Night Rivals Scholar Athlete Award.
Welcome back to the My 48 Halftime Report. I'm Hannah Brady, now joined alongside by Kevin Spainhour, the principal for West Forsyth High School. Principal Spainhour, you have found a new leader for this football program in Kevin Wallace. Just talk to me about that process, finding that transition from Adrian Snow to Kevin Wallace, and just how you think the first year has gone.
Sure, thank you. With a storied program like West Forsyth, we had a lot of great candidates. I thought our search committee did a wonderful job putting those candidates together, and clearly you can see the results on the season. We found the right guy, and he came in and hit the ground running last spring. Really got to know our kids and spent time building relationships. And Coach Wallace and his staff, which he's overhauled to a certain degree, have really done a great job getting kids to buy in, and that's producing the results on the field.
Now, we're midway into the school season. Is there anything new going on at West right now?
So, yeah, we're continuing to do new things. I mean, one of the things that West Forsyth's got going on is an undefeated and top-ranked soccer team who will play Monday night here. We'll host Providence, but our men's soccer team is undefeated and one of the top teams in the state. We also have just completed at the soccer stadium a brand new field house with the help of our athletic booster club and Mr. Gene Louder, who was the general contractor and a great friend of the program. So we're continuing to add to our athletic program, and we also are starting a mentoring program here for our young kids so that we're targeting some freshmen and trying to get them plugged into the school environment.
Now, we all know that there's always that one thing that sets schools apart from the other, but what is something that makes West special?
Yeah, I think what makes West special are the people, the tradition, the people, and we're very connected to our community. We've got great ties and great partnerships in our community, and West is a legacy school. We've got kids that have grandparents and some great-grandparents that went to school here, and that's a special place.
Well, thank you so much for joining me here on the My 48 Halftime Report. Coming up next, we have a whole lot more in store for you as we are joined with the assistant principal for East Forsyth. Stay with us. Welcome back to the My 48 Halftime Report. I'm now joined with Carmen Lemons, the assistant principal for East Forsyth High School. Carmen, just talk to me how excited you are for this football season and being back in a conference championship game again.
We're super excited for our student athletes and our coaching staff. It's just a true testament of the hard work and the dedication that they have put in since August, and we're just super excited to have the opportunity to be in another championship game.
Now, speaking of those student athletes, how important is it to have such a good athletic program for your student athletes?
It's super important to have a good athletic program. It's not just about athletics. It's also about just teaching our students real-world lessons that they can take with them once they leave the nest.
Now, how does East Forsyth High School athletic impact the other communities and the rest of Kernersville?
Our Kernersville community and the surrounding communities, they are our champions and they are our cheerleaders, and they really support our students, and we just thank them so much for their support.
Well, thank you so much for joining me here on the My 48 Halftime Report. We might be at halftime here in Clemens, but let's check out some other Friday Night Rivals game highlights from across the country.
The best Thursday night lights and Friday Night Rivals highlights from across the country.
3rd down and 6. And a one-handed grab by Cam Blivens. And Blivens is down the sideline, inside the 10-yard line, and down just shy of a touchdown. Cam Blivens.
Tonight, pass rush here on Tyrese. He's going to throw it away, and it is caught. It's complete.
Oh, what a play.
He flipped it up for grabs on the money. And
he'll get another chance right here, and he's going to get out wide, and he's going to be tough to catch. And he stays on his feet and breaks back the other way. We've got a flag that's probably going to be a face mat. Right when we talk about Brock and his big-time plays, he breaks one, he brings the crowd to life.
Brunkemeyer to throw on 2nd down on a good pass to the far side. That one hung in the air for a long time, but it's caught. Sidestepping one man, diving towards the goal line, and...
3. McIntyre flips it up to Sanders, who gets pancaked. He never had possession, so it'll be incomplete.
Moreno
Suarez, and it's blocked. It's blocked. Leeds blocks the kick. Wow, special teams once again steps up big, and the celebration begins.
McCray on the carry. There we go. 23-yard field goal.
Public ice skating is happening at the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds. Join them for public skating hours, no school skate days, holiday skating, group skating lessons, and party time skating, because parties on ice are the best. Visit WSFairgrounds.com for more information. Public ice skating is open at the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds, your one-stop source for entertainment in Winston-Salem.
It's a beautiful night. It is a full moon. We got the Howlin' Wolves and we got Eagles and Titans grinding out for this CPC League title. Here's your first half highlights, and Mark, it starts on the ground for East Forsyth.
Just a vicious attack that started early on, very consistent, very good when it needed to be, and they were very efficient in half number one.
And then the creativity here of West to get the rushing touchdown.
For every blow that one team has thrown the other way, the other one has responded with a blow of their own. It has been a back and forth battle of Titans and Eagles in the first half, and it has been as entertaining as they come.
That was Darrell Page on the reverse. And then late in the half, bringing Caleb David, the pound-for-pound strongest man on the field.
Absolutely, just a pound-for-pound guy who gets it done there. But again, East Forsyth not going away quietly. This is a team that has fought back, is winners of 4 straight in this rivalry, and they're not going to go down without a fight.
That was Jalen Murray, and you add the field goal late right here to give East Forsyth the lead after missing a field goal from 28. That one in from 23, and that's the difference. Entertaining first half. You know, stat-wise, the rushing attack is fairly even, but the 7 penalties for East, that's been a difficult point.
Well, you got to start to wonder at what point does that have an impact on this game. Right now it's been undisciplined. Of course, you see the 5 on the other side for West, but East Forsyth, they've been doing it more consistently, and that's been a problem. Obviously, you heard Coach Willard express his grievances with that going into halftime, so you'd like to see them clean it up here going into half number 2 with a 2-point lead.
Key penalties making the difference. We'll take a timeout and get thoughts from the West Forsyth coaching staff when we come back.
Scores from the Central Piedmont Conference. Mount Tabor 48, Parkland 8, Reagan 42, R.J. Reynolds 13, and Davie County 13, Glenn 7.
Welcome back. Before we start the second half, I'm here with Kevin Wallace. Coach, you opened up the first drive of the game, 79-yard touchdown. You know how to run the football. How do you continue that momentum in the second half?
We just got to make some adjustments. They've made some adjustments, got some guys upfield. So we got to change up some of our schemes. I think we'll be okay in the second half.
To keep the emotions in check, what was your message in the locker room to come back out and get these guys fired up?
Our kids are doing all right. I don't think they've been out of control. We just got to go out here now for a second half, win the second half, and try and win the championship in the second half right now.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you very much.
Guys.
Great point. There's a championship on the line in these next 25 minutes. And it's interesting with the coaching adjustments, Kevin Wallace, the play caller, that East Forsyth defense did slow down West pretty well in the second quarter.
They sure did. And once they settled in a little bit and they saw some of the different things that this West Forsyth offense was throwing at them, they were able to diagnose those plays in the moment, make the plays they needed to, and get that offense off the field, slow them down, and allow their offense to go to work a little bit more in quarter number 2. Just got to get out of their own way with the penalties that we alluded to, Coach Willard alluded to. And once they do that, they've got it going in their favor right now. They just have to see, we have to see some adjustments from West Forsyth and see what they can do.
Both teams at 5-1 in the Central Piedmont. This is an important game because Davie is winning, Davie County. They'll move to 5-2, which means if you're West or East, you all of a sudden look at the standings, you want to be first. You might drop to third if you lose this game tonight.
It's very possible. It's just so much that takes place here in the final week of the season. Everything's so tight with where it is and so much shakeup. And of course, all those standings, all the first-round matchups.
East, they lost to Davie this year.
Yep.
So you would drop to third place. And a team that made it all the way to the final 8 of the state last year could be on the road in game 1.
Well, absolutely. And that's what I was going to say. Those playoff matchups that'll show up right after noon tomorrow. So quickly, you'll find out exactly who you're playing. It's going to be very interesting to see where everything kind of shakes out. Both these teams, in all likelihood, will have that first week home game.
The road to Raleigh or Chapel Hill for the state championships on December 8th and 9th. We'll have coverage right here on My 48 as well of those state championships. I'll see you there, my friend.
Yeah, hopefully. Look, we have a couple great teams, not just these two, but several that we've seen throughout the year and ones that we haven't even had a chance to see throughout the year.
I think Oak Grove's got a great chance.
Yep.
I think Grimsley has a great chance in Greensboro, and this press box is rocking. There's a low squib kick to start the second half. Uh-oh, this ball's still alive for Drew Wright, who is knocked down hard on the Hayes Jewelers kickoff at the 15. It's a high school press box, not an earthquake. Everything's okay. And now we start the second half. I'd never seen that before. The entire press box
just moved.
And I lived in California my whole life, where earthquakes were very common.
Very. Really, the first time?
In a press box, yes.
It's a little alarming, but we're going to let that go for right now. Hey, this East offense was having their way with this West defense in the first half as it went along, able to really run some great running plays, get those yards where they needed to, and we're very consistent. See what they start half number 2 with.
Bryce Baker on first down to start the second half, where he was 3 for 3, perfect in the first half. Sends Sutton in motion. Here's Murray, able to follow Federspiel, his left tackle, and get 5.
Going from that far side.
So we do see the press box shaking. And this is because we got our hands up in the air and we're making this building just bounce around. Look at all the people here at West Forsyth. This place is electric.
It's an amazing atmosphere. And you're going to get that every single time you come here for this game.
League title on the line in the CPC as Gilchrist breaks the tackle. And he has the first down. That is a Crescent Ford first down. Crescent Ford, a High Point, serving the Triads since 1970.
Doing just enough, seeing what the defense is going to be bringing here to open up half number 2. Can you kind of restart that process of feeling each other out a little bit and see what adjustments each team is trying to make? 2 plays and first down for the East Forsyth Eagles.
That was Cale Vest on the tackle. He had the fumble recovery in the first half. Baker on first down. Look at Sutton, bounce his way through, and he only gets a yard. Good pursuit by this defense.
And caused a little bit of suddenness to what Sutton was trying to do. A little bit of pressure got into the backfield. And once the running back feels that, he doesn't have as much time to diagnose what's going on ahead of him. Has to get upfield in a hurry to get something out of it. West Forsyth did a great job pressuring the play and forcing that play to be shut down.
East averaged 11 yards a carry in the first half. A lot different here in quarter 3. 2nd and 9, Sutton held on by his ankles, and Sutton will get 4, setting up third down. What's been the adjustment here for West Forsyth's defense?
They're trying to get to the point of attack and make those plays. A couple times in the first half, we saw this East Forsyth running game get loose off of second efforts. It wasn't initially the hole that they hit the first time, but finding those cutback lanes and making moves to an overcommitting defense. They got to stay patient, stay disciplined.
3rd and 5. Baker runs out of the pocket. He's running for the first. and high steps out of bounds for a first down. A la Caleb Williams, the Heisman Trophy winner there. Baker converts it.
Gets pretty special, isn't he? Just going out to the side, surveys the field, doesn't see anything, and then makes the smart play, pull the football down, and see if you can pick up that first down with your legs. And with the speed that Bryce Baker has around the edge, he's going to win that battle.
That's a Crescent Ford first down. East kicked the field goal seconds before halftime to take the lead. Baker on first down. All the time in the world. That collapses. Good pursuit, and Torian Johnson credits for the sack. That time Baker couldn't find anybody open.
No, he sure couldn't. Good job. That's a coverage sack right there by this West Forsyth Titans defense. Not allowing Baker to deliver that football down the field long enough for that defensive line to collapse in on him and pull up their first sack of the game.
That's the 18th sack for this West Forsyth defense. Parkland, in fact, leads the league in total sacks. Trey Walker has 16 himself in the Central Piedmont. Toss on 2nd and 13. Richburg shoved down hard. No whistle after a gain of 3. Nice pursuit from this West Forsyth defense.
Really nice pursuit that time. Richburg, one of those intriguing young prospects along this offensive arsenal, if you will, for East Forsyth. The sophomore comes up, makes a huge impact, a couple of games against Davie County in particular. So he's got skill right there, but good pursuit around the edge to get him down before he can turn his shoulders upfield.
Third down of the drive for East. Big test for Ron Horton's offense that came in averaging 40 points a game.
The question is, do you contain Bryce Baker here?
Baker out of the pocket. Throws to the sticks. Oh, incomplete, nearly picked. And Gilchrist couldn't squeeze it. Then defensively, Wilson had the pick.
Man, really close to being a first down and then really close to being a turnover the other way. Gilchrist just drops this football. I mean, cradles it, it goes in and out of his arms, and fortuitous that no one was able to come up with that football for the Titans. That is a gimme catch. You've got to make that and continue to move the chains and keep the drive alive.
Gilchrist, the leading receiver for East, 31 catches. And now Ridge Wisnet to punt. Oh, the rugby nearly blocked. And it takes a great bounce for East. Tumbles to the 10 on a 45-yard punt. We'll take the timeout. West Forsyth down a couple of points. Gets the football when we come back. Closed captioning for tonight's game is brought to you by Caring Hands. At Caring Hands Home Health, we have hands-on compassionate care around the clock. As Burt Rice handles this offense to start the third quarter. Rice slings it short. Chaplin hangs on and gets out of bounds at the 14. In that first half, it was Chaplin doing most of the work, 181 yards. Only 8 yards passing for West Forsyth.
They didn't really have to do much of that in the first half. Of course, you want to see a little bit more out of Burt Rice here in half number 2. A couple open throws that he missed, including one could have been a touchdown to Cruz late in the first half.
Chaplin back to it. And he'll be short of the sticks, gains just 2.
Remember how at the beginning of the game I said that this is going to be one of those occasions where these teams are going to have to do something outside of their comfort zone. This might be the time for West Forsyth to do that. Of course, running the football is their bread and butter, but to get that to open back up, you've got to keep this defense honest, and it's got to start right there. Number 4, Burt Rice has to start making throws and making this defense pay for giving him time to survey the field.
Burt Rice off his career best, 300 yards passing, has only attempted 5 passes tonight. He's tested here on 3rd and 5. Chaplin spinning right at the sticks. And this will depend on the spot. They give it to him, first down. Pressing forward, moving the chains on first down.
By the skin of that football, they move that chain right there. Give it to Chaplin.
Did you see Jalen Morris lob off the field there? Which means Gavin Banks, the senior, will check in at guard. It's the 13th first down for West Forsyth tonight, largely on the ground.
And they're going to keep it more conservative, it seems here. They're not going to put the football into Burt Rice's hands. Keep it on the ground with your bell cow. Ken Chaplin has been a dude here all season long.
If it was fair weekend, he'd be the leading cow.
Yes.
Top 5 rusher in the state of North Carolina. Chaplin back to it. Follows his left tackle, P.J. Dean, a 4-star recruit. And a late flag comes in. Little antics there from Elijah Edwards.
Just not a smart play. A leader on this defense, no less. And that's going to draw the ear again of Coach Willard.
7 penalties for East in that first half alone.
Just not smart football. Not smart football at all. You're giving away those free yards. And you're allowing an offense that you stymied in the second quarter to get those free possessions. They'll start to gain confidence.
What did Tom Lord say at halftime? We have to stop making these mistakes. This could cost East Forsyth tonight.
Yeah, it really could. In a game of this magnitude and with everything that's going on, not to mention the fact that you're playing a darn good football team on the other side as well in West Forsyth. At some point or the other, you got to think that they are going to make them pay for all the mental mistakes they have had tonight.
Fresh set of downs for West. Chaplin gets out of a tackle. Edwards able to drag him down. Nice pursuit after the penalty. And a gain of 3 on first down.
And he still didn't go down to the ground. It was only because he stepped out of bounds that they rolled the play over. He's never went down after that play. Watch this. One of the harder short runs you'll see in a while. Breaks out of that one, spins out of another, and then steps out of bounds there, but never goes down.
In college, he wouldn't be ruled down.
No.
He has to be down by contact. In high school, though, he goes out of bounds. 212 yards rushing. This team is pounding the rock tonight.
They sure are. Both teams are, really. It has been a clinic on how to run the football in different ways.
2nd and 7. Chaplin. He's stonewalled and body slammed. O'Marion Hayes. That's a sophomore at 290.
Big time play, penetrating, getting through and bullying his way to Chaplin that time. Gets through the offensive line, breaks off the block. Matter of fact, while he was tackling Chaplin, he was still being blocked.
Mark, that's like watching Brock Lesnar control the show in WWE. This kid's tough to stop.
Yes, he is. What a presence in the middle of the field. That is a heck of a play.
Hayes sets up 3rd and long. Rice with pressure. Lobs it deep, out of bounds. He wanted Darrell Page. And here's the D-line of East Forsyth making an impact.
They sure are. Just an inaccurate throw down the field again. It's a tough throw, but give these defensive backs of East Forsyth credit. They have been locked down so far tonight, forcing that ball to go more towards the sideline. And there wasn't enough room for Page to even make an adjustment on that football if he had a chance to get there.
This is T.J. Fergus with his 4th punt of the night. Still no one back for East. That's been an all-night decision. Fergus hits it short, and it takes a bounce. Down there at the 22. Midway through this 3rd quarter, both teams trading punts, and East will get the football when we come back.
Go ahead, get your 50-50 raffle tickets. Red buckets, yellow signs. The pot is up over $1,000. You gotta be in to win. Big money. Winning ticket will be drawn at the end of the 3rd quarter.
Final night of the regular season. Coming up in the fourth quarter, stay tuned for tonight's Carolina Classic Fair player of the game. The Carolina Classic Fair, there's magic in the fair. We say that for the final time of the regular season, too, so it'll be important.
Bittersweet.
And then our West Shore Home play of the game. West Shore Home brings happiness to every home. You know, bring happiness to these homes in Forsyth County. Getting a win in this league title bout. West versus East, and Bryce Baker back to work for East. Murray, tough decision by the quarterback as the D-line, Eldridge, is all over it. No gain on first down.
Just nice way to collapse down. Now you're seeing some of the concentration for West Forsyth. Defensively, they are stopping the run. Understanding that's what you got gashed by in the first half, and even if that means you take this game and you put it on the arm of Bryce Baker, switch something up. Give this offense something else to worry about.
Bryce Baker, the two-sport athlete, 15-point-a-game scorer on the hoop court. He now looks to distribute the ball a little better in the second half for East. 2nd and 10. Baker elects to run. Gets away from a tackle. Baker's still up, and he tiptoes out after a rocket off the tackle there of D-Rock Eldridge.
Pretty impressive quarterback prospect, isn't he?
Well, his running ability, too, is insane.
And it really opens up so much more. I mean, think quarterback position has evolved so much now that you can't just be stiff in the pocket and just stay back there like a statue. You've got to be able to run the football. And that's another weapon that he's able to add to the repertoire.
Baker on first down. Is that a catch? Is that a catch? Waiting for a ruling here, and the ball is loose. It's ruled West Forsyth football. Wow, a fumble for Drew Wright.
It looks so wonky up here in the booth. It just never seemed like he had a ton of control.
Oh, I don't know about that. Now, there's no replay in high school football. But seeing this again, is this a catch?
So here's the question, is that football move, right? Because he's fumbling it, you want to use that term fumble here, from changing possession in hands. So he's going from the left hand to the right hand, going back over and making a move there. It must have been enough.
First down, Burt Rice after the turnover. Rice throws across the field and overshoots. That's the third time tonight Darrell Page has been open.
It sure is, and that's a couple different times, even more when you take into consideration how many times they've tried to go to Hunter Cruz down the field as well. And these receivers have had steps on these defensive backs of East Forsyth, and Rice is just not able to get it there. Just clear overthrow, get a little more air underneath that football, and allow Page to run under it.
Burt Rice slid into the starting role early last season. Was more of a handed-off quarterback. They're asking him to throw more tonight on 2nd and 10. Chaplin, good option, gets some space.
Holy cow.
Chaplin is tripped, and he gets down to the 10. Nigel Gay, the captain, saves a touchdown.
See him start to pick up acceleration. As that play went on, he started to get faster and faster and faster. Nothing to impede his progress there. That is a touchdown-saving tackle.
Back to Chaplin. Mullins drags him down. Gain of 4 entering the 5-Star Roofing red zone. We do this every single day.
Now inside the 10, that tempo is picked up. First time West Forsyth has some life here on offense since the early parts of the second quarter.
2nd and 4.
Man, oh man.
West Forsyth lost 49-0 when these teams met in the playoffs last year. 2nd and 5. Not a goal-to-go situation, but right on the doorstep for West. Chaplin on 2nd down. Dives forward. Chaplin's in for the touchdown. 46th career touchdown for the senior, Cayman Chaplin.
It's only fair. He starts that drive, gets some momentum back on their side. You allow him to finish the drive the way he's done it all year long. Touchdown number 29 on the ground.
This kid's tough to stop. With his mom, Ayana, the assistant principal, watching his every step here at West Forsyth. Baby boy's making her proud with that 5-yard score. But the extra point is missed. Wow. So it's a 4-point game. And that might have been tipped, too, after the Banghart touchdown.
What a run. The senior taking it all on his back, sees it off to the left, bounces back into the right, and there it's bully ball. Keep the legs churning, hold on to the football. And just like we've seen 28 other times this season, Cayman Chaplin punches it in.
He's top 5 in the state in scoring and in rushing. This kid does it all for West Forsyth.
Not only does he have all those attributes we've talked about throughout the broadcast tonight, but the nose for the end zone is also there. You don't get 29 touchdowns on accident. That's not something you just do.
Nigel Dula of Drawn High School has 37 touchdowns. That's the state lead. And now a new helmet is needed for Cayman Chaplin. The only thing stopping him tonight is his helmet.
Running out of his helmet, right? He had to come off the game. It is worth noting earlier for an equipment issue involving his helmet coming off.
There's a short Hayes Jewelers kickoff, scooped up. Isaiah Edwards gets off a block. Oh, good cutback. Gilchrist has a hole at midfield. And the ball's loose! Oh, fumble! West Forsyth, they think they have it. East Forsyth, back-to-back fumbles. Who has the football? West Forsyth.
Holy cow.
That's Fergus recovering it.
Fergus ripped it out.
Oh, yeah,
hands. How about that? The hands on the football, not giving up on the play. TJ Fergus, the backup running back. What awareness to get on that football, sees it wide open, get both hands on it, and strip it away from Gilchrist.
Scoop and score.
That was a score and then a scoop.
There's Fergus, the senior, one of 22 seniors here for West.
What an impact play.
He'll exit on this first down. Chaplin gets a block. That's a hold. The flag hits Chaplin. The only thing stopping Cayman tonight is he's escorted out of bounds.
Really didn't even stop him. Still got downfield.
East Forsyth, as this holding will bring it back. The most yards they've allowed on the ground this year is 205 against Davie County. Cayman Chaplin has 250 by himself.
I mean, just impressive. Pretty clear hold there on the edge, but right now that's the only thing stopping this rushing attack. And very suddenly, West Forsyth.
Remember, the starting right tackle, Desmond Jackson, who has FCS offers, has been out the last 3 weeks.
Yep.
But in comes Keith Foster, the sophomore, and this O-line's gotten better in league play.
Well, you're finding that continuity. You need those 5 guys up front to move as not just one unit, but almost like one person. They have to understand what they're doing at all times. Make sure your guy is doing his job next to you, trusting him, building that trust.
And Jalen Morris, the right guard, has been out since the first half.
Yeah.
With that hamstring issue.
Yep. A virtuoso performance running the football by this offensive line of West Forsyth and Cayman Chaplin.
1st and 20. Rice with a flag down, heaves it deep. Let's see. No whistles on the back end, but a flag at the line of scrimmage. That was Hunter Cruz going long.
At some point, you got to start thinking, is Cruz not getting to the football because he's being held?
Well, he's also got multiple steps on the defender.
Exactly.
Some encouraging words from the student section here at West Forsyth.
2nd down and 20.
Both teams nearing double-digit penalties tonight.
Well, you got to think for West Forsyth, this is a real opportunity here to put this game in a position that East Forsyth is not going to be gone. but it really puts a lot more pressure on them if you go down the field and score here. You cannot hurt yourself and get in your own way with penalties here.
After the penalty, 2nd and 20. Rice is pressured, throws it deep, dropped right through the hands of Page.
That one is on Darrell Page.
Good coverage by Nigel Gay.
Sure was, but it was a great throw down the field by Rice. Finally delivers the ball down the field right where it needs to be, and Page just alligator arms it. Pulls them in too quickly and cannot bring that one in. That is a perfectly thrown ball.
Hit him right in the mitts.
To the outside, no less. That is a next level throw, Evan.
And Burt Rice has had completion percentage woes this year. Yes. Partly on him, partly on receivers. We've seen both that in 2 plays. Now 3rd and 20. Only a 4-man rush. Rice steps up. Oh, broken tackle. Darrell Page with the first down. He gains 30 on 3rd and 20.
Like the play call, the concept there. It's one-on-one. Page is right there in the middle of the field. No safety over the top. He makes the first guy miss. And he's going to have a first down and then some. Great play call here. Safety comes down and just whiffs on it. Nigel Gay.
28 yards officially. And Darrell Page is exhausted.
I like the ability to go back to him here, though. Back-to-back plays. You miss on the last one. Get it back to him. Let him go make something happen.
1st and 10. Chaplin bounces off. Bye-bye. Chaplin's 3rd touchdown of the night. A statement from 42 by Kamen Chaplin.
Take him to church, young man. That is a run for the ages. Breaking the tackles, spinning off and keeping his vision and balance, and then bursting through into the secondary for another touchdown. Kamen Chaplin is unbelievable.
Add to the totals, 47 career touchdowns. Extra point, that's a big one. Makes an 11-point game.
And you can feel the momentum swinging back. It was all East Forsyth headed into halftime. Them making plays. Chaplin, though, not to be denied, yet again finds the end zone.
The bounce and the spin move off of Elijah Evans.
Off of really almost 2 different defenders, no less. Stays on his feet, spins out of it, and then just gets upfield.
What if I told you Chaplin has 291 yards rushing tonight? And we're in the 3rd quarter.
It feels like it's still not enough.
It might not be, with how good these teams are offensively.
Well, now you need an answer from the other side. This is the drive of your season for a conference championship. If you are East Forsyth, for all the miscues they've had tonight, 4 turnovers, not being able to hold on to the football, the penalties, everything that has gone wrong, and you're only down 11 points right now. And that's got to be the message to this offense. They can go out there and still score points, but they've got to start on this drive to get themselves back in this football game.
Costa Dupoy on the kickoff. Low squibber. Murray. He's chopped down. And a hard hit after the play. Gabe Apkin on the stop. We've talked about East Forsyth, the woes offensively since the 1st quarter. How do they fix it here late in the 3rd?
Well, this spell is just kind of taken over where the running game has disappeared. And that was the entire emphasis in the 1st half, was finding balance. But it started to turn into a game that was run heavy on both sides. That's because they found success. So how do you do it? You reinvent the wheel here going forward. Find a way, get something going where you can get the ball into these ball carriers' hands and they've got room to work with. There's so many across the offense, but they're being stymied right now because of the pressure that this West Forsyth defense is bringing.
East Forsyth has won 4 straight after dropping a tough one at Davie. West Forsyth looks for a 3rd straight win. Championship bout in the 4A Central Piedmont tonight. Baker on 1st down. Little play action. He's going deep. Alston connects! Josh Alston for the 78-yard tutty.
78-yard touchdown pass.
What?
Baker to Josh Alston.
Well, there's your response on the Banghart touchdown.
Are you kidding me? Back and forth we go. You wanted an answer. East Forsyth's got it for you right here. They've seen the touchdowns, and now they wanted one of their own from deep. What a connection. Another beautiful ball thrown by Bryce Baker to Alston, streaking down the West Forsyth sideline.
That's the 10th touchdown for Josh Alston, and now East goes for 2. You look at the score, 28-23. Important 2-point play for East. Baker has done it all tonight, and a flag. This will back it up a few yards.
Flag on the play. False start against the Eagles.
I mean, my goodness. And think about how huge this 2-point conversion is potentially. Because even though we missed in the first half, Wisnet did have the 1 field goal kick, 1 for 2 right now. He is a reliable kicker, one of the more reliable ones you'll find within this area. And certainly a guy that this coaching staff trusts, that if they need to trot him out there for a game-tying field goal at some point later on, he can go through it.
Big 2-point play for East Forsyth. Baker goes to the end zone, has to run. Baker directing across his body and caught by Jalen Caldwell, who scored the game-winning touchdown against Mount Tabor. Makes it a 3-point game tonight.
What presence by Bryce Baker. Rolls out of the pocket, keeps his eyes downfield. The quarterback first, runner second, keeps surveying the field, comes back across his body. Caldwell is in the back of the end zone. He finds him for the 2-pointer.
How about this dime to Alston for 78?
I mean, on the money. And how about Alston, the big receiver, streaking down the field, the long strides, getting a step on the defender, and then scoring from there. And we just saw the 2-pointer. Of course, Bryce Baker, again, watch his eyes. He keeps going down the field, directing traffic, finds Caldwell, and tells him to come back to the middle of the field to get away from the defense. Finds him in the end zone.
Well, there's your response in about 15 seconds. It's 28-25 with a league title on the line. That'll make Todd Willard a little happier. In your 30 coaching this program, you're 21 as the head coach.
And I'll tell you what, we might have in the long history of this series, this rivalry, we might have an all-timer here tonight brewing.
East has won 4 straight in this matchup, and West can smell it. This kick will go into the end zone, so a touchback for West Forsyth.
Kick goes into the end zone for a touchback.
Coming up in the 4th quarter, we'll have our Linder Turf and Tractor scoring summary. Get a great deal on your next Kubota at Linder Turf and Tractor. Getting that time of the year where the grass starts changing colors. I know it's 82 tonight, but it'll start feeling like winter here all of a sudden in the playoffs.
It sure will. But I'll tell you what, both these offenses, both these teams are chewing up turf right now.
Clever.
They are operating at a high level, and that's putting it very mildly from the last couple of drives we've seen.
Burt Rice on 1st down. Feeds Chaplin. Ooh, good pursuit by the D-line. That was Nathan Stewart crashing in and gets some help on the tackle.
Did you see the way that Chaplin kind of went down for a second and broke out of a tackle? It was almost like he had crouched to the ground, trying to get back up. Watch right here. He just evades tackler and almost gets brought down and keeps that knee up barely above the turf.
That'd be interesting in a replay setting, was the rule down there. 2nd down, Chaplin. Good tackling here by East Forsyth, just a yard on the play. And Stewart again in there with Brooklyn James.
I think Brooklyn James made that initial contact on Chaplin and did enough to hold him up so he couldn't get that full head of steam getting through that offensive line. So good job by him holding on and allowing the rest of his defenders to get there and make that play. 3rd and long. You stick to the ground here, or do you try to go back to the air?
Kevin Wallace said we want to be aggressive offensively. Every time we want to score, put pressure on the defense. 3rd and 7. Rice has to run. Chopped down. Wow, hard hit. And that's Nigel Gay, the captain.
Rice, not a runner. Only has 5 yards this year on 15 carries, now 16. So if you're going to force him to run, that's exactly where you want to be as a defense. Great job in coverage down the field. Force him to step up and try to take off with the football.
Well, my friend, we head to the 4th quarter, end of the regular season. Conference championship on the line when we come back.
4th down and 6 for the Titans as we start the 4th quarter.
Welcome back to West Forsyth. Start of this 4th quarter, and West is forced to punt in a league title game. Winner of this earns the CPC crown and a top hosting position in the 4A. Fergus gets it away. And with no one back for East, let's see where this ball lands. Okay, at the 37.
I don't think I've ever seen a team not have a returner back deep the entire game.
At the 37-yard line.
I really can't recall the last time I saw a team never have someone back to return the football.
Not even the threat of the return.
And you wonder if maybe there's some issues with returning punts right now, as far as actually catching the football cleanly and not putting it on the turf. Especially when you have an offense that is rolling such as yours is. Maybe just don't take that chance and just give it back to them wherever the ball lands.
Well, last time we saw Bryce Baker, he dropped a 72-yard dime to his senior, Josh Alston. 78-yard dime. 1st and 10 for Baker. With Gilchrist in motion, he feeds the running back, Sutton. And a flag down. This could be coming back. P.J. Dean was disrupted on his pursuit.
See all those Titans flying around the football that time. Nowhere to go. Good job stymieing the run, not allowing them to have a clear set.
If you aim to win tonight, we have the winning ticket number. Get out your tickets.
Did you guys get your tickets for the 50-50?
Cody against the Eagles.
Gosh, I hope someone bought some for me.
Because I know the winning ticket gets a championship trophy tonight in the CPC.
There you go. I don't think we're winning that one.
I think we're in a 50-50 game right now.
We are.
East has won 4 straight in this series. They were a top 3 team in the state last year before being upset in the round of 8. West Forsyth, who lost to East in the first round of the playoffs, 49-0, wants to exact revenge tonight. That's what's on the line in this 4th quarter. Baker on 1st and long. He runs. Baker's got a lot of room here and slides with a late hit. And that's 15 extra against West Forsyth.
And that's exactly what they should have been calling all night long. That time Eldridge is coming down way too quickly, aggressively. Doesn't need to take that shot. Baker's already given himself up. That's another foolish penalty.
Add 15 extra to that run, so a 1st down.
Baker is giving himself up. Don't be dumb. And really, it could have been called both ways. Not just on Eldridge, but also David.
I think that's more on Eldridge.
Sure.
Nonetheless, now the ball's at the 42, so great field position.
1st and 10 Eagles at the 42.
Man, oh man.
Baker with 170 yards passing. He's nearing 100 yards rushing. Carrying the load for East Forsyth here on 1st down. Baker slides up. He heaves it deep and finds Murray. Touchdown, East Forsyth.
Touchdown.
Back-to-back drives with dimes. That one 42 yards to Murray.
That is a next level throw. Stepping up in the pocket, it looks like he's about to take off and run. And you spot your receiver streaking down the field and on the run down the field. You've got to control so much of your momentum that you come back and make an accurate throw down the field. What a dime by Bryce Baker again.
That's a Bang Hard Apparel touchdown. Go hard with Bang Apparel. Extra point upcoming for Wisnet. This is an important point to make it a 4-point game. Bang Hard Apparel, offering athletic apparel to help you stay motivated with the right fit. Boy, wow. The touch passing of Bryce Baker's been fun to watch.
Just watch this, because he's stepping up in the pocket. He's taking off almost to run. That is not an easy throw, because more often than not, your momentum is taking you down the field. So many times you see a throw like that, and it's just overthrown. And you miss an open guy like that. That is a beautiful throw. A textbook throw in that situation by Bryce Baker, the 4-star recruit. Mr. All-Everything for this East Forsyth offense.
Man, Mac Brown's got to be a happy camper in a couple of years.
No kidding. So the slew of quarterbacks that have rolled through Chapel Hill, Sam Howell, Drake May now. Who knows what happens next couple of years? You may be looking at the next face of Carolina football. Pretty impressive.
Baker's starting to figure it out, man. 486 team yards for East, going back and forth. As Creasmore sends one into the end zone, a touchback. He's on the soccer team as well as Creasmore. He'll practice with both sports during the week and booms that kick out. Man, oh man, conference title on the line. Two teams that want hosting bids in 4A football. And New Bern, the reigning state champs, they got to win tonight to make the playoffs, which means this bracket is wide open for
Yes, it is. Obviously, New Bern's had its own issues this year. Some allegations being handed down their way. But it is certainly wide open across the 4A division. There are teams all over the state that are vying for that spot to win a state championship this year. It is going to be tightly contested across the board.
1st and 10 for Burt Rice. He'll find Chaplin. And Chaplin keeps churning those legs for 3 yards. It's been a busy night for Chaplin, over 270 yards rushing. And now a little bit of shoving and pushing after the play.
Number 44, Stewart.
Nathan Stewart, credit on the tackle.
It's tough. These rivalry games are always going to be so hard-nosed. You got to make sure you're keeping your composure. Of course, you might have some pushing and shoving in there, but don't be the guy that draws that flag because you got too aggressive.
298 yards for Chaplin. Rice to throw. Ooh. A little off on the route there. I don't know if Darrell Page missed the timing or Rice couldn't find it, but just not on the same page.
Not 100% sure, but it was a little weird because it looked like Page was trying to come back to the inside of the field where there were no defenders. I mean, he broke that thing off, and Rice seemed to think that he was going to continue his way straight down the field on that hash.
Instead, it's 3rd and 8.
I think Page may have been hoping that Rice held onto that ball a little bit longer, saw him, and then delivers that throw.
Rice with the trips, rolls that way, has Page, good tackle, and slammed out by Nigel Gay, short of the sticks.
The way he closed that time on Page, he catches that football, and Nigel Gay is on him in a heartbeat.
Do you go for it here on 4th and 3?
Well, they certainly seem content with doing it. Now, we have not seen the first time in this drive, these last 3 plays, none of them have gone to Chaplin.
4th down. Big decision here for Kevin Wallace, offensive coordinator and head coach, year 1 here at West. Here we go, it's a punt. Takes a good bounce for West. And now East gets the ball back at their own 30. What an important drive with 9.5 minutes to go.
Well, maybe you see on that initial dummy call, you see if you can draw them off sides.
We'll take the timeout. East Forsyth looking to put this game on ice when we come back.
Welcome back to the 4th quarter, where East has found their way on top, 32-28. Now, we talked a lot about East Forsyth's quarterback Bryce Baker. Now, we've seen a lot of smart reads from him tonight. He says that he studies the game more than the physical stuff on the field to prepare his mind in order to make the right reads. Coach Willett told me that he asks a ton of questions and he's very analytical of the game. He said that he's big on film and he loves that Bryce likes to take the time to study his game, so he really prides himself on the mentality and his football IQ, guys.
A transfer from Walkertown gets the first-year starting job behind Jalen Rayner and throws it out to J.P. Gilchrist, gaining a couple. Rayner was one of the best players in the state last year, now at Arkansas State. These are big shoes to fill for the young Bryce Baker.
Lighting it up at Arkansas State, no less. Definitely one of the young stars in college football to look out for if you're talking about Jalen Rayner. But look, we know that Bryce Baker wanted to come up to this level because he wanted better competition. He wanted to show his mettle against better opponents.
2nd and 6.
He's done it.
Baker against a good league foe in West Forsyth. Now throws, and Gilchrist has the first down. Nice play for 7. And the creativity there, the quarterback, is fun to watch.
That was a little gutsy throw right there. Back across your body, there is a defender draped on Gilchrist. You got to throw that ball perfectly. That's exactly what Baker does.
That's a Riddle Tractor first down. How about Baker now? 11 of 16 passing for 200 yards. Throws another. Gilchrist the catch. Taken for a spin and knocked down after a short gain. That was Brody White, the junior.
Nice play in space by White that time. I think Gilchrist might be able to get out of that tackle. Tries to cut back, but White's right there, gets on him and makes that stop.
Gilchrist has developed into the #1 receiver with Sakai Mitchell out the last month. Big production for Gilchrist tonight.
It's interesting to see how this game has evolved on really both sides because it was so run heavy. Now you've got both teams trying to air this football out a little bit.
Baker out of the pocket. Throws it past the sticks. Nice catch for Richburg. And he'll gain 10 to move the chains.
Great route by Richburg along that East Forsyth sideline. Just comes back to the football and not only understands where he's at on the field, but stops, plants his feet, and doesn't overcomplicate things. Gets them down, makes the catch. Keep drive alive, move the sticks.
With all the penalties, the 3 turnovers, here's East now with a chance to pull away after struggling in that first half. Sutton behind his O-line. Wow, Sutton is churning. He actually gets almost 10. He does get 10, in fact, and a first down for Brandon Sutton.
Keeps the legs churning. See so many times from Cayman Chaplin on the other side tonight. That time, Sutton just backs into a first down. Even getting turned around, just continues to drive those legs and get down the field.
6th time this year, Sutton with 100 yards or more. Him and Murray have been electric in the backfield. And now East works the clock. We hit 7 minutes in this league championship game. Winner could host multiple playoff games in the 4A state. Murray, nowhere to go there. Good pursuit, and everyone on the tackle for West Forsyth. Because now this next 3 plays are crucial if you're West defense.
Absolutely. Approaching now underneath 7 minutes in this football game. In this regular season, you're down by 4. As a defense, this is what you live for, to make a stop in these pressure moments, get the ball back to an offense that has been able to move the ball pretty well at times against that East Forsyth defense.
That was Keenan Cuthrell, the sophomore on the tackle. He's 330 pounds. It's like a bear hibernating for the state playoffs. He's ready to roar. 2nd and 11. Cuthrell with pressure. Baker finds his receiver. Look at Alston break inside the red zone, the 5-Star Roofing red zone.
It's not even fair. The corner route that time, Alston runs it, gets separation. It's so lanky. You see him get inside position there. Great work by our camera crew to catch that one. Great catch. Move the chains yet again for Baker in this offense.
Doing this every single day, the 5-Star Roofing red zone. That's Alex, the sideline camera op tonight, tracking it. What a dagger of a touchdown drive this could be for East.
And how different it is. We talked a couple minutes ago about an 11-point lead for West and how close that was to putting this one away.
Back to Sutton. And he keeps turning those legs. He's spun down by Eldridge. And now this is a must-hold for a field goal if you're West Forsyth.
Sure is. At least a field goal attempt. Now, again, we've seen a miss on that side for East Forsyth tonight. Wisnet was not able to knock his first field goal attempt through, able to convert the second. So it is not outside the realm of possibility that if you hold him to a field goal here, it is a challenge.
East Forsyth needs this win tonight. With a loss, they drop to 3rd place behind Davie County. And the winner of this game gets a league title. Murray in motion. He's got it. Murray with some blocking. Gets to the sideline. Murray tiptoes in. A 3-touchdown night for Jalen Murray.
Touchdown, Eagles.
Held off long enough. You thought the play was going to get extended the whole way to the sideline. You're thinking, well, that's a win for the West defense to get off of the field potentially on that play and get Murray out of bounds. That time, though, he finds a sliver along the far sideline, turns it upfield, and has enough speed to find his way into the end zone. Good job blocking downfield as well.
Sutton and Murray mano-a-mano on that drive. And now Wisnet completes the extra point. Wow, this offense is clicking. East Forsyth back in front by 11 in this back and forth battle.
Official TV timeout.
Closed captioning for tonight's game is brought to you by Caring Hands Health. Mark, for the final time this year in the regular season, Caring Hands Home Health, hands-on, compassionate care around the clock.
And just as it was the first time, it's so nice.
It's so nice to have your hand on my shoulder as I do that read, too.
Oh.
Great to have our crew here all season long here at West Forsyth. Final game of the regular season, East versus West for a Central Piedmont Conference title and the top 10 seed in the state.
Yeah.
The rankings will come out tomorrow afternoon for the state playoffs.
And of course, you can go through and look through the results tonight and kind of figure out who won and lost, what the matchups were.
I want to see Oak Grove in the playoffs at the 3A level. That's a great program. These are two 4A teams getting after it. And this kick is returnable from the inches of the end zone. Page. Oh, open space here. Here comes Page. And he's stonewalled just inside the 40. Best field position of the night for West Forsyth at the most important drive.
That sure is. Now crossing underneath that 5-minute mark. They need to make something happen fast. Find a stop on defense if they can score here and then get the ball back, and you've got a chance. Now, Burt starting this drive.
Burt Rice has got to throw the rock a bit.
Yeah.
He's 8 of 20 tonight.
Right, he's got to throw, not just throw the rock, but he's got to get it to his guys. He's missed on some really big opportunities tonight.
Fresh set of downs for Rice. Shovels it. Oh, Chaplin's got some space. And he tiptoes out into East territory on the first down.
Very interesting play right there. I like that play design. You have the free edge rusher coming off, and he's unblocked. And you think he's got this play dead to right with Rice right there, just flips it out to Chaplin. It's a really nice play design.
Clock will start on the snap, under 5 minutes. Rice wants a screen. Oh, he finds Chaplin. And another first down. 2 productive plays there from Cayman Chaplin.
That was the craziest screen I think I've ever seen.
And now, wait a second. We got a late flag in here. Was that a late push? Was that a late argument? There was a lot going on there. Wait a second. Big decision here for Gary Overton.
Couple different defenders down for East Forsyth within that sideline. Elijah Edwards.
I don't know if Hannah was in the middle of that scrum. Maybe she could let us know. There was a lot happening there.
Did Hannah draw the penalty?
I doubt it. This is an important decision for Gary Overton.
Boy, what a huge call.
Edwards got shoved to the ground, and then some things started happening.
Nathan Stewart was also along that sideline as well, and he somehow ended up on the ground too.
Okay, now the line judge comes over. Here's the back judge. unless they're offsetting penalties, which I think would be reasonable in this situation.
Sure. Always kind of iffy along those sidelines, too.
What do you got for us, Gary?
Dead ball, personal foul against the Titans.
That's what we thought, was that initial shove out of bounds. And that is not a happy camper in Kevin Wallace.
It's always kind of iffy, you know, try to get in the sidelines. And we've seen East trying to get in the head a little bit of West here tonight, obviously knowing that they are the team.
And worth noting, that is an after the play foul, so it is 1st and 10.
Correct.
It's not 1st and forever.
Man, still, even in that occasion, you're essentially resetting here. It's 1st down, but
you essentially lose the last screenplay.
You lose the last screenplay and you lose time. It's a big play from both accounts.
West Forsyth was up 11 in the second half. Now down 11. Rice out of the pocket. Overshoots his target. That was Page, and a big miss there. These are the throws that Burt Rice will have to make if West wants to come back.
Yeah, it really is, and it's got to start on the very next throw because they just have not been there tonight. Those throws, that should be gimmies. I mean, these receivers are getting open. The concepts are getting them to where they need to go. Burt Rice just is not landing those hits like he needs to.
Rice on 2nd down. Here's some pressure. That is actually caught. McGackey with the catch, and Hayden is just short of the 1st down. Wow, how did McGackey catch that? Also a name that's spelled M-G-A-H-A is pronounced McGackey. You learned something new tonight.
Apparently.
I like it.
A nice catch along the sideline, controlled it, now sets up 3rd and short, so it opens up the playbook again. Chaplin could be involved.
3rd and short. There's Chaplin, gets off one, and Chaplin's got the 1st right through the hands of E.J. Hawkins, who would love that play back.
Sure would. He knew he had him dead to rights, too, just trying to hang on. But like so many defenders this year, he just cannot get there and make that stop on 1st contact. Has him.
That's 300 yards rushing now for Chaplin. 302 officially. John, our statistician, tracking every yard.
Got to start looking for a deep shot here.
Final 4 minutes. It's a 2-score game. West has got to move.
They've got to move.
Rice with a blitz, and he's demolished. Whoa, Robbie Whitney. Flex on him, son.
Just never even saw him coming off the edge. Wide open. Never realized. Burt Rice is surveying, trying to get something, and just misses him. And I'm not really sure how, because it seemed like he was looking that side of the field.
Talk about entering your living room. That's breaking and entering if you're Whitney. And a timeout here for East Forsyth. And we had talked with Todd Willard this week about his D-line. He said Robbie Whitney doesn't have the size of a Division I player, but plays as well as anybody on his D-line. That's a heck of a sack.
Something you hear all the time about when you go to the next level, like, do they pass the eye test? You know, do they have the size, they have the bulk, you know, the height, everything like that. They pass the eye test.
So we want to thank our entire crew who's made this production possible. There are camera ops everywhere. We talk about our high end zone views, our wide views. Dwayne and Eric, who work up top, they're climbing up behind us to get on the roof tonight. They've been amazing all year tracking the plays. And then we got cameras all over the field too. So not just up top, but in the end zones. You see in the high end zone view, that's Jeff on top of the crossover. Then you see down low, you see Kevin operating the camera. What's up, Kev? Kev's a good dude, man. He's always fun to talk to.
Yes, he is.
There's Alex, who will always give you a smile. He makes sure you're happy. Alex knows he's on camera. Good to see our camera crew tonight. Put a name to a face and appreciate their hard work. Here's the entire production crew. So Drew, who's directing, Lori, a West Forsyth alum. She's producing, helping for a comeback. We got Peyton on graphics, Scotty on replay, Justin on video, Chris, our timeout guy, Andrew audio, and Colin in the truck. As Burt Rice heaves a shot. Whoa, that'll make the crew happy. Touchdown, West Forsyth. But a flag is down. And a holding just made our producer Lori go, oh. That'll bring it back.
Wow.
Do we have a GoPro in the truck?
Finally that deep connection hits. Hunter Cruz is found deep, gets to the step on the defenders. It's there, we're moving, we're right along, they're back in it. And a hold wipes it all away.
Erase the 53-yard touchdown. Our producer, Lori Bates, who's the second-generation West Forsyth student.
It's right here on the edge.
Wow. Right in the middle.
Yeah, right in that center spot. Vaughn Eves.
After the flag, Rice, all the time, incomplete. Great coverage by Corey Fisher. Now this is the game on 3rd and 24. With a late flag coming in, wait a second. Oh no, roughing the passer. What is East Forsyth doing?
And that's a first down.
Oh my gosh. The gift for producer Lori Bates and her father, who played football here at West, and her son, who's currently a student at West. What is going on?
And take a look here. Yeah, that's a good call.
Wow.
That's a good call. That's Brooklyn James comes straight up the middle.
Todd Willard had talked about unforced penalties all night. That's the biggest of the game.
You gotta hold up right there. You see the football go out, you're trying to play physical. I get it. You have to have control there and not draw that flag in this situation.
That is second life. 11 penalties for East Forsyth. 160 yards of penalties. Costly. 3 minutes to go. Rice with time, heaves it deep, and Page couldn't get to it. Wow, these deep balls are 50-50 all night, but West just hasn't hit them.
They look good. They look good when they go in the air like that, and then there's a receiver, and they got some steps. They've got position. They're just not hitting, and the one time it does, there's a penalty to bring it back. Boy, at some point,
game. You could go for the field goal here.
You could. You're not going to, but you could. Again, this is an aggressive team. They're going to stay aggressive as long as this game is continuing to go on. You got to think, though, in the slot, in the top part of your screen, Hunter Cruz is up there. Do they take that shot again?
2nd and 10. Rice gets out of pressure. Incomplete. Good pursuit by M.J. Mullins and E.J. Hawkins, who are both slow to get up. Like a couple of pandas in the jungle looking to catch their dinner.
I'm sure.
Still down.
I'm sure there's also part of it where they're just tired.
Here comes the training staff for East.
If there's one thing tonight that you can really say that Burt Rice has done well, his pocket presence has been there. I mean, he has done a great job for the most part tonight of sensing where the pressure's coming from and just moving around in the pocket.
That's Natalie, the head athletic trainer here at East Forsyth. We want to appreciate them as well. The student section at East is going bonkers for a social media video, not because of the injury, just to be clear. There may have been a miscommunication there with the student section. Good news, M.J. Mullins is back on his feet. He is hobbling off. Keep in mind, West Forsyth 5 of 12 on 3rd down tonight.
Hunter Cruz, top of the screen again.
Burt Rice on 3rd down with a blitz. Good screen to Chaplin. Makes a juke. Chaplin cuts it back, and he's to the 10. Entering the 5-star roofing red zone.
You got to go. Get up to the line. You cannot waste any time here. Great play call that time. Catching the screen to Chaplin, get him in the open field, does what he does best.
1st and goal. Rice End zone. Page, touchdown. That penalty for East Forsyth has made this game interesting.
Sure has. Way to capitalize. You're down bad. You have the penalties fighting back against you. You get second life on this drive because of the roughing the passer penalty from East Forsyth, and you capitalize. That's got to feel good. Now, you go for...
Whoa, they're going for one? Wait a second. Interesting. Costa Dupuy for the kick. Nice hold, and that kick is through. So now it's a 4-point game. Now, we did talk to West Forsyth this week. The coaching staff does not trust Dupuy outside of 25 yards.
But it doesn't make sense to go for one. I mean, even if you don't get the 2-point conversion, it's still a 5-point game.
You do now make it a touchdown only.
Yes, as opposed to having the option of kicking a field goal at the end.
By the way, Cayman Chaplin now has 381 yards himself.
In total offense.
Is this an onside kick situation? There are 3 timeouts to work with.
You have the 3 timeouts to work with. I'm going to kick it deep here. Now,
and we've seen a couple of squib kicks tonight from West Forsyth. Wow, it all comes down to this. League title in the Central Piedmont. And it's up to the kicker, Costa Dupuy. Biggest Hayes Jewelers kickoff of the season. Let's see what Dupuy has in store. Onside kick, bounce, 10 yards. East recovers. East Forsyth football.
That ball was kicked perfectly. I mean, perfectly.
And Corey Fisher grabbed it.
Problem is, you have your unit there. You've got to have them understand you're kicking it like that. Get in front of the football and shield it off. As soon as it goes 10 yards, it's anyone's football. And they just hesitated.
Last second hesitation from Adrian Santos.
It may have actually hit off of a Titan before it reached that 10-yard mark.
So how about this? Game on the line. First down wins it for East Forsyth. And they will become back-to-back league champions. Bryce Baker, who transferred from Walkertown to play 4A football, can orchestrate this drive.
He wanted better competition. He's thrived all year long. Can he pick up one more first down and deliver a conference title to Kernersville?
Todd Willard forced to use the timeout.
Timeout, East Forsyth. Their second charge timeout and a half.
He's frustrated too. He knows that there was a play call in there that was going to execute and get them something.
11 penalties for 160 yards for East, and that's what's kept this game alive.
Yeah. And we were talking about a football game that you take away all the mistakes that they've made, it could be completely different here tonight. Could be more points on their side, fewer points for West Forsyth, but we're playing the game that we're playing, and they've put themselves in this position where they've got to pick up a first down here and not give the football back to the offense of West Forsyth.
Todd Willard's program has only lost 2 league games in the last 3 years. Absolute dominance from East Forsyth. And that's being tested tonight. Both teams at 5-1 in the league. So this is the league championship on the line next 2 minutes. Baker hands it off to Sutton. And West had an extra player on the field. Nobody saw it, at least the officials didn't. It does lead to a timeout after a gain of 3. Interesting nuance in these final 2 minutes. I don't know if we have a wide angle replay there, but West had 12 on the field.
And they don't catch it, so they get away with one there. Now second down, and you know this football's staying on the ground. You want to run
West
those
has forced
timeouts.
3 turnovers tonight.
Yep.
A couple of fumbles, too.
So if you're East, you got to hang on to that football. Regardless of anything else, you are hanging on to that football if you get around any of these Titan defenders. And understand that, yeah, you want to pick up the first down, but you don't want to continue to fight and put it in a position where they can rip it out. We've seen that happen on a kickoff already tonight.
East Forsyth, as a team, had 3 fumbles entering this game. They've committed 3 in this game alone.
And I can tell you, putting that on film going into next week, these teams in the playoffs, scouting a little extra hard, they're going to know to go for that football.
2nd and 7. Baker to pass. Baker finds Gilchrist. And he stays in bounds. That might just wrap this thing up.
Well, it's going to be close, and what a call by Coach Willer and that staff. In that moment, the corner route, putting it in Bryce Baker's hands to make a throw down the field and get it to the man who has turned into the #1 receiver in this offense.
Oh. Now we're over 1,000 yards of combined offense.
It's a smart play. Stay in bounds, continue to move the clock.
And the clock starts running. With 2 timeouts, you get a chance here with a stop, but you have to get the stop. Murray gets 2. Timeout, West Forsyth. They have 1 remaining. You're doing some math here. 3 plays, 1 timeout, maybe 30 seconds left. But everything's perfect.
I'm thinking more 20. It's going to be closer to that 20 mark. Oh, wow.
J.P. Gilchrist, who's become the possession receiver, 40 receptions this year. His biggest catch of the year right there.
Yeah. What a game. There's so many different storylines to take out of this one. Right now, East escapes despite all the mistakes, all the miscues, all the penalties, the turnovers. To come out of here with a win despite all that says a lot about what they do as a team. It was far from a perfect effort. And then the other sideline, you look at West and think what may have been, what got away from this team. When their offense started to click, it just never seemed like both units were clicking at the same time and firing off in unison with each other.
Meanwhile, East with 309 yards rushing, 267 in the air, and they averaged 9 yards a play. 9 more yards and this game's over. 2nd and 8. Baker keeps it, and he dives down. Short gain. So West Forsyth will save the timeout for 3rd down. Every second counts here with 1.5 minutes to go.
Biggest play of your season to this point if you are the West Forsyth Titans defense. Can you make a stop?
East Forsyth is 2 for 5 on 3rd down. And the play clock hits 10. This is for the game, 3rd and 6. Murray is short, timeout. So here we go, 54 seconds. Do you kick the field goal here if you're East?
That's the next part. Do you have confidence? Or do you take a short punt and you push this offense with no timeouts now?
Ridge Wisnit's range is 45 yards, and a field goal makes it a touchdown game.
Well, it's still a touchdown game. Still a touchdown game at this point, but it does make it a full touchdown, so you have to get that extra point.
Oh, man, big decision. That'd be a 43-yard kick. I'd go for it.
I'd almost say go for it, because then you're banking on your defense being able to hold. Burt Rice has not hit those deep throws that they need consistently here tonight to make me worry enough that if I miss this kick, they're going to make me pay.
And if you miss the field goal in high school, the ball goes back to the 20.
Yep.
So the field position is not a huge difference.
Correct.
But if you get the 5 yards, the game's over.
And it sure looks like they're going to try to go for it here.
And there is the 4-star quarterback, Bryce Baker.
If you are West Forsyth, be level. You cannot jump offside here and give them a 1st down.
Play of the ball game for the Central Piedmont Championship. Baker rolls out, pressured, throws for the game. Gilchrist, touchdown! Your Central Piedmont champions, East Forsyth.
How about that throw? The play call across everything. Bryce Baker rolling out, putting the game in his hands, directing traffic again, and delivering another perfect throw down the field. This time Gilchrist hauls it in.
Make it 4 touchdowns for Baker. Back-to-back weeks with 4. And this puppy is over.
He wanted better competition. He has delivered every single step of the way.
That kick is blocked. Not a live ball in high school. But now a 2-possession game.
I mean, what else do you say but wow?
There was no opening on that play till Baker drew it up.
Just watch him savvy here. Pump fakes, directs traffic, tells Gilchrist, hey, get vertical. And the one-hander on the back end.
I didn't even notice that part.
Watch, he says, get vertical for me, then throws it down the field.
And then Gilchrist with one arm snatched it.
In double coverage.
If that game's not on the National Play of the Week in this United States, I'm disappointed for a young JP Gilchrist.
To win a conference championship, no less.
East Forsyth, man, you can't stop them. Won the league last year, undefeated in league play.
In a game where they tried to stop themselves
in the
several
first half,
times over.
All the mistakes,
yes.
Double-digit penalties. And that young man, Bryce Baker, was a playmaker in this football game. The number 8 ranked player in the state as a junior. He is stepping up for that man, the 2-time state champion, Todd Willard.
I mean, every single step of the way since we last saw them, and they edged out Mount Tabor.
On a similar play.
Correct, 62-7, 52-0, 42-12. Offense has been clicking.
The squib kick is recovered by West at the 34. So West has the tie-breaking advantage over Davie County, so they'll be the number 2 seed in the league with possible hosting in the playoffs. East Forsyth now will be a top 10, maybe top 8 team in 4A football. They could go hosting the next couple of rounds. All that's on the line in the next 40 seconds. Here's the pressure. And Whitney with another sack. It's his 3rd of the night. And that may do it for West Forsyth's chances.
Just a dominant effort here in the second half, fighting through adversity.
Rice with pressure. There's Page. He's got to get out of bounds. Oh, no. He doesn't get out of bounds. So the clock will start when the chains are set. I don't know if West can get a playoff here. Here we go, clock running. Rice has got to go for this. It is caught. Last play of the game, and East Forsyth comes into West and wins a 2nd straight Central Piedmont Conference title.
Just a barn burner of a game, a classic here in Clemens. And despite the efforts of a strong Titans team, cannot overcome the reign in this series that is East Forsyth, 5 in a row and 2-time defending conference champs.
We'll take the timeout and wrap things up in a great night for high school football.
Coach, it was neck and neck all throughout the night. How did you guys put it away today?
Just made plays. I mean, both offensively and defensively. I don't really care. We just won. That's all that matters to me tonight.
Coach, your decision to go for it on 4th down and placing that trust in your quarterback. Just talk to me about how important it is to have this trust between both your quarterback and all these guys behind you here tonight.
Hey, we believe in these guys. We ask a lot out of them, so when the game's on the line, I'm going to give them a chance to win it, and that's what they did tonight.
Now, you said you wanted to have bragging rights all throughout the county, and you just won back-to-back league titles. How good does this one feel, and what does this say about this group behind you as you move into the playoffs?
Hey, nobody believed in us tonight except this group right here, and everybody's surrounded, and that's all we need. All we need is us.
Well, we're going to present you with this trophy tonight for being tonight's Friday Night Rivals game winners. Congratulations on the win tonight. Enjoy the victory.
That trophy's a little sweeter when there's a league championship tied to it.
Yes, sir.
Hannah, thanks for talking to Coach Willard. Those guys are loving it. East Forsyth will be a team to reckon with in the 4A playoffs, as will West Forsyth, as we gear up for the state tournament. How about our Winston-Salem Fairgrounds player of the game?
Who do you think it is?
So many options.
So many.
And it's Bryce Baker dropping dimes all night.
So many options for play of the game. Get to that in a second, but Bryce Baker was everywhere tonight, running, throwing, precision, leadership. I mean, you name it, it was shown tonight. And I'm telling you, if you are a Tar Heels fan, you are ecstatic to see what he's going to do, not just the playoffs, but his senior season as well before he makes his way over to Chapel Hill. He is electric, he is exciting, he is developing into, dare we say, one of the best players within the entire state of North Carolina.
And only a junior at quarterback. 390 yards of total offense. And then this game had touchdowns of bonkers plays all over the place. How about our Winston-Salem Fairgrounds West Shore home play of the game? This is for the ball game right here.
Like a ball game for the conference, for bragging rights, everything on the line. A perfect throw down the field, directing traffic. Gilchrist, the one-handed snare in the backcourt in the end zone in double coverage. It was a perfect play, a conference championship winning touchdown for the Eagles of East Forsyth.
That stuff dreams are made of if you're East Forsyth. What a battle in this series. East has now won 5 straight. And how about our Linder Turf and Tractor scoring summary? A lot of numbers on the board tonight. That second half, it picked up. East able to pull away when West was up 11 in the third, and then East with 2 big drives late.
That's where it really matters. It's one of the oldest cliches in sports, right? It's not always how you start, but it's how you finish. East Forsyth finding a way, battling it back against really themselves. And all the mistakes they had in the first half, the turnovers, the mistakes across the board, even in the second half, and finding a way to win. At the end of the day, that's all you need, conference championship, and that's all they'll need going forward in the playoffs. Just find a way to win, and you advance.
Thank you so much. This concludes our final broadcast of the Friday Night Rivals regular season. I want to thank all the sponsors, all the schools that make this possible. Also, of course, for you guys, for watching, for tuning in online, Facebook, on TV, you name it. We're grateful, and I truly mean that, to have you watch and appreciate and reach out for these games, because they mean a lot to us and to these students. Coming up in the state playoffs, December 8th and 9th, we'll be in Chapel Hill and Raleigh for the North Carolina High School State Championships, live on My 48 Sports. Tremendous season, tremendous battle to end this one. West versus East, it goes to the East squad tonight. For Mark Colbert and Hannah Brady, for Drew DiMarcantonio, for Lori Bates, all of our crew, I'm Evan Budrovich. We say good night from Clemens for a fun season of high school football.